Hello, everyone. Oh, sorry, I messed up. Hold on. I messed it up. I messed. Oh my God. Okay. There we go. Now the stream is working properly. Well, welcome everybody to stream. Hi, Vertex. Hi, Sad. Hi, Kev. Welcome everybody to stream. Sorry if that looks hideous. I'm gonna try and fix it the best I can. Hang on. Okay, that's what's supposed to be showing. Hang on, I'm just gonna message John real quick. Whoever chatted first came first. It was you, Vertex. Want to join me in a mob tier ranking stream? There we go. I just sent a message to John. Well, for me, it says started streaming 69 seconds ago. Yeah, welcome, Dane. Glad to see ya. Couple of new viewers showing up. Yeah, I'm waiting for my friend John to respond, and I'll get the show on the road. Okay. Well, he hasn't responded yet, so I'm gonna do the intro. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go get some music real quick. No copyright music. Okay, there we go. I'll elaborate that a little bit, Vertex. So, no, okay, sorry. I don't want to keep clicking the stream tab accidentally, so I'll move it here. Okay. So, basically, here's how it's gonna work. I got the various mobs down here at the bottom, and I'll be discussing it with stream. And I'm gonna do tier rankings of the various Minecraft mobs. I'm gonna go through each one. I'm gonna sit here and discuss it. I'm gonna get you guys' opinions, and I'll rank them on this tier list up here. This is the first time I've done this. So, yeah, that's gonna be pretty epic. So, without further ado, let's begin. For this one right here, I don't think I can rank this one because it's a player. It's the person in the game. So I don't really know what to say about it. Like, what would I even do with this? Welcome to StreamRel, but like, what do I even do with this first one here? I don't know where I'd even put it. It's the player. Like, could you rank how well the player is? Like, in terms of how the game is? Like, just how Minecraft is as a game? I don't know. Like, what would you do? Alex Yellow, if we're judging this based on, how good Minecraft is from the perspective of the player, then I'd have to say it would be cool tier. Because hear me out here. Because, like, a lot of the graphics and stuff like that are really low quality, and yet the game still manages to be entertaining. And it's kept my interest in it for like 6 years at this point. So I think that if we're going off the graphics for this one, I'd probably say cool tier. Like if we're talking about player perspective. So yeah, that's that one. I think that's pretty much settled. Does anybody have any objections? Does anyone think that it should go in a different tier? Can anyone have any serious reason for it? Doesn't really look like there is. Alright. I think that one's out of the way. Now let's move on to the second mob. Okay, we got a wolf here. Wolves are a very interesting one to rank because they carry a lot of nostalgic value. Like, I would always, one of the first things I did as a kid is I would go out and tame a wolf, and I was pretty enamored by that. But at the same time, if you're talking about practicality, like their uses in game, I'd say it's not very good on that front. Because, like, it could easily get blown up by a creeper and stuff like that. And if you have full netherite, which you'd want to have, when you're fighting stuff, you'd run the risk of accidentally killing the wolf. And that's something that you don't really want. And I'm not being biased, I'm just stating the practicality of it. Like, it's really memorable. A lot of people love this mob, but I don't think that it's amazing. I wouldn't say, you know, it works good for its function. It's just that it doesn't fit the way that you would want in a normal Minecraft world, you know? Especially if you're a professional player. So, you know what? I think I'd give it a good. Like, it's not great or cool or anything, but I don't think it's really bad or terrible. Because it works properly, it does all the stuff it's supposed to do. I just don't think it could do anything better than that. So, yeah, I think that's my opinion on that. Anybody have any objections in stream? Doesn't look like anybody does. I'm gonna join the recording VC in Xrovia just to, like, make sure people can join. Alright. So if y'all don't have any objections, I'll move on to the next mob. Next we have the new mob, Axolotls. I've actually had a little bit of experience with it, like 1.17 came out recently and I've seen them in action. I think that it's really cool that Axolotls give you regen if you help them out in a fight and everything. It's pretty epic. And I think that that's pretty good on its own. So, yeah, it's really cute, and it has a lot of good functionality. Even if, like, there are probably better mobs out there, I'd say it's pretty decent. I'll give it great. Like, it can't beat the player experience, but it's better than a wolf. Just because... Or is it better than a wolf? I want to hear you guys' opinions on it. Hey, what's up, Flame Comb? How you doing? Want to hear, do you think that it's better or worse than a wolf? I don't know. Like, do you think it's better than a wolf or is it worse? Because I'm honestly kind of torn. I'm doing good. Yeah, I guess you're right. That is a good point. In that aspect, they probably help more than wolves. So you know what? What the hell? I'll just, I'll keep it a great. Clearly a level above normal wolves. Alright. Okay, so the next mob we have is the bat. They spawn randomly in caves. They're 1 block tall. They fly around in a really annoying way, and you hit them accidentally some of the time while you're mining. That's really all there is to say about the bat. All it drops is XP, and they're pretty much useless other than just flying around and doing crap. I wish that with the cave update, the bats would have gotten an upgrade, but obviously they didn't. And as it stands, they're just kind of useless, and they're a little bit annoying. So, yeah. I don't think this is gonna get a good rating. I think that, bats, they're terrible, but there's worse. So it's not that bad. Yeah. So this is... I think I'm gonna change these names real quick. Because they're a little bit misleading. I think I'd rather have it be certain ones. I want to have it be like the normal S through F tier thing. Okay, there we go. And then the top one's S tier like it should be. Alright. Yeah, I think about is E tier. It's a failure, but it's not the worst failure there is out there. Yep, you're right about that. Next up, we got bees. Bees are just, oh man, I don't even know where to start. Bees are interesting in like how they work. They're at least unique. They have, it's kind of interesting they decided to add it to the game. Like they have their own hives and stuff like that. They got a lot of, like, they're really aggressive when you mine their hive, which I think is a good touch. It's kind of accurate to bees in the real world. They don't really change that much in the game. Like the honey that they give you, pretty much nobody ever uses it. Just because by the time you're able to get honey, you'll probably have other things that are better. So honestly, for bees, I would say they're not as good as axolotls by a long shot, but they're not as bad as bats. So, are they as good as a wolf? Yeah, they do. Are they as good as a wolf or are they worse? It's split between C and D because they don't add that much, but they're not too frustrating. So, I'm not sure. I think I'll put it D tier. I don't think they're as good as a wolf. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to stream. Glad to see you. Welcome, everybody. But yeah, I think that B is D tier. I'm glad to have you guys in the stream because I kind of want to discuss these with you. Because why not? I just think this is kind of interesting to do a tier ranking thing like this. So yeah, welcome everybody to stream. I'm glad to have you here. So yeah, let's keep going. Next up, we have the Blaze. Blazes are found in nether fortresses, like you all know, and they give you one of the best items in the game. So that's gotta give it a little bit of respect for me. I think that Blazes, they're a pretty difficult mob to deal with once you're in the nether, and they can provide quite a challenge if you're on Java. So I think that Blazes are definitely up there, like in terms of what they're supposed to be. I think that Blazes, because they do so well, oh, I don't know, are they? I think they're either A tier or B tier, just because of how well they fit their mold. I think that no, they're not C tier, sweet. I think they more belong in A or B tier. I don't think they're S tier. They're not that good. But they can fit in either one of these categories. Do you think it'd be A tier or B tier? Blazes would be B and C for me. Oh, okay. You do have a point. They're not that complex. So I think I'm probably gonna go B tier. Because they're good, but they're not amazing. Like, they're better than wolves. Oh wow, there you go. Blaze and Axolotl right next to each other. Pretty relatable to each other, huh? Alright. Next up, we got the brown mushroom. This is a mob that didn't even have a whole lot of potential to begin with. It was basically just a rip-off off of the red mushroom and added nothing new to the game. I think the idea was pretty flawed, and it definitely could have been way better. Hey, what's up, dude in stream chat? I'll respond to anything you have to say. I'm sorry, I don't recognize who you are. But yeah, I think that this cow is just, it's a mess, and it didn't even win the vote. Like that's got to knock off quite a few points. That it wasn't compelling enough to make it into the game. So I think that the brown mushroom, first category, or the first candidate for the F tier. Or not, I don't think they deserve F tier. Probably E tier, just because if they were in the game, I don't see them being annoying or anything like that. They probably wouldn't hurt the game. They'd probably just be a ripoff, and that's it. Honestly, that's all I have to say about it. Next up, we got stray cats. These mobs are interesting. Like, originally it was supposed to be ocelot. Like, ocelots were originally the ones that were tamed. But now we got stray cats, which makes it a little bit... I mean, I'd say their addition of the game was a little bit more realistic. At the same time, it was kind of unnecessary, though. It's kind of cool that they spawn in the middle of villages, because that's kind of how it works in real life. They live near humans. So for the stray cat, I'd say it's not amazingly good, but it's decent. Does its job, scares off creepers. I'd say it's C or D. Is it as good as the wolf, or is it not as good? Like, is it more like a wolf or a bee in terms of its quality? Hey, what's up, Sad? I think it could be either one of these. I'm gonna go C tier. Cats honestly kind of deserve C tier. They're decent. Alright. Now we got cave spiders. Cave spiders are a real nuisance when it comes to mine shafts. And they cause a lot of problems. They are just... hold on a sec. Concurrent viewers 0, so I gotta add hashtags to advertise the stream. Yeah, welcome to the one person of the stream. Glad to have you. I was just editing my tags real quick. Alright. So for cave spiders, they're a real nuisance in the mine shafts, and they're really annoying. They cause a lot of damage to you. But at the same time, I guess that gives the mine shafts a little bit of a challenge. Like, you don't normally get a challenge like that when it comes to mine shafts. And I think that the fact that the cave spider provides a challenge is a good thing, and should definitely be a mark in its favor. I think that I'm gonna give it it's a good mob, although it's a little bit annoying. I'd say it's as good as the Blaze. I'd say it's B tier. Pretty decent. Okay, I'm gonna go add something to the description. Hold on. Tier ranking. There we go. That's probably gonna help out the stream. Alright. Welcome one person to stream. Okay, now we're on charge creepers. Charge creepers are basically the same as normal creepers, but they're a lot more powerful. I think it's definitely interesting that you have such a powerful creeper in the game that could do a lot more damage and you could troll people with it. It's pretty good. I think that the fact that they have this is probably better than a normal creeper would be, honestly. And I think that that has to be a little bit of a plus. That has to be a good thing. So I'd say B tier. I think it kind of deserves it. Hey, it looks like the tags that I use in the stream are working. Welcome everybody who's new. Don't be afraid to talk and shout. I'll be willing to discuss the tier rankings with you if you want. Hey, what up? Alright. So next up, we got the Chicken Jockey. The Chicken Jockey is a baby zombie riding a chicken, which I think is just a little bit cute and also scary. It's okay. It's just really weird, and that is probably one of the reasons why I like it. It doesn't provide as much of a benefit as like the Blaze or any of those, so I don't think that it deserves B tier. But it's not as dysfunctional as the B because it actually does something with all the speed. So I'd say it goes C tier based on what I've already ranked other stuff. And also make sure new people to sub and everything because I need it obviously. Next up we got the chicken. Chickens are they're probably not as good as other passive mobs to be honest. The food that they drop isn't as good. And they're kind of annoying sometimes. They crample your traps. They get into like a bunch of spaces that they're not supposed to. It's really frustrating sometimes. Although they do lay eggs that you can use to throw at people, so gotta give a few points for that. But yeah, chickens. What about arrows? They have a use. Oh yeah, you got a point there. They provide feathers so that you can get arrows, so I guess that bumps it up a little bit. Because you need them for arrows. But I'd say other than that, yeah, also cakes, but like cakes are a little bit less useful in terms of like food. So I think the arrow thing is going to give an extra few points for me, but the cakes don't really matter so much. I'd say it's worse than other passive mobs, but it's not bad. Like it's not brown mushroom level bad, but it's not freaking chicken jockey levels of good. So I think I'm going to give it D tier. Because it fits nicely between those two. Alright, so, no, I'm not going to give it B tier because the stuff in B tier is actually kind of awesome. You can get Candas now. What's Candas? I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is. I'll let you explain a little bit, and if you make a convincing enough argument, then I'll upgrade it. But your argument has to be convincing. Candles. Oh, okay. That's cool, but I can't see how much better that is than torches, so I don't think that's enough to give it any points. I'm thinking that it's gonna go hold on, John's messaging me. Doing a mob ranking tier stream, wanna VC. Yeah, I think it's gonna keep itself there. That's honestly the best I can give it. Salmon drops a bone, whatever. Alright. Okay, so we got cod. Cod is it's kind of weird that they added these. Like, you know what would have been cooler? If they had cod and then made it so you fish the cod out of the water. But fishing basically works the same as it is before, so fish are just kind of swimming around the oceans and don't have much of a purpose. I think that the fact that they provide detail is good, but only from like an aesthetic standpoint, not from an actual functionality standpoint. And yeah, I think that the detail is decent, but not as much to bring it out of the D tier. I think I'll give it a gentleman's D plus. Why is like everyone unavailable? May I ask why? Ask me. And no one else wants to do it. And I thought you would have some good input. So John might end up joining the stream, and that might give it a little bit of life. Alright. So, next up we got the cow. Cow gives you a steak, and it's pretty decent. For early to mid game, the late game, you can get golden carrots easy. And cows are kind of stupid, like they'll walk off edges and crap like that. So obviously that's not amazing. But they are better than chickens, but they're not as good as the useful mobs at B tier. So I think cows will get C. I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get John in here, or if I'm just wasting my time. Yeah, I think cows, it's pretty fair to put them in the C tier, don't you think? Honestly, I don't see a better place for it. It's about as useful as a wolf is. Next, we have normal creepers. The annoying pieces of crap that randomly blow up your house. But they are really iconic, and I think that they do their job quite well of messing with the player's minds, so I think that it's not as good as the charge creeper. It's not B tier, but I think it's an easy C tier. It's a critic C plus, if you will. Like if there was a rank between C and B, that's where creepers would go. Alright. Next up, we have the stuff that the frickin' Evoker Summons. I don't know what this is. I don't think it can really be considered a mob. It's really just a spell. I'm giving it E tier because it shouldn't even really be on this list. I mean, like it's very poor in terms of a choice. I'm calling John up right now. See if he picks up. Next up, we got Dolphins. Dolphins are really epic. They give you like a spell that makes you swim faster in the water. They're very cute, and they fight back if something attacks them. I think, and they also show you where buried treasure is, and they'll even play with you if you like throw items in the water. So I think that dolphins are really Chad. Like they're better than the mobs down here. I'd say I'd give it A tier. Like it's good enough to be considered A tier, at the very least. A or S. Like it's really amazing. You know, I think that A tier is probably right because there are probably better mobs than the dolphin, but I'd say it's A tier. It's like it's near the best you can get. What the hell is this? This is literally just me doing a stream. Like I'm trying out something new and doing a tier ranking stream. And it's not doing amazing, but at least I gave it a shot. Like I'm gonna keep going through all these and I'm gonna rank them. And I'll see if you guys want to enjoy it. Oh, epic. Glad to see new people here. Make sure you sub to the channel because I need it if you want to see more of these. Because this is something I'm doing for the first time. I don't know how people will like it. As you can see, these are the tier rankings so far. Next we got the donkey. Is that a donkey or a mule? I think that's a donkey. Yeah, mule's down there. So, for donkey, I think it's about as good as a horse. Like, donkey, mule, and horse will probably be around the same rank because they're basically the same animal. So I think that for how useful horses are in traveling large distances really fast, just being able to do crazy stuff like that, I'd say that gives it B tier. It's a really useful mob. E or D? Why do you think E or D? Like, do you have a solid reason for that? I'll listen to you, but I want to hear a solid reasoning first for why you'd want E or D. Because I'd honestly be willing to hear you out and, like, hear what you have to say. I honestly think that Donkey, Horse, Mule would probably be better than E or D. Because they're not as useless as a bat or as annoying as a chicken when it comes to trampling your crops. Like, if you look at the other mobs that are in these tiers, a horse is better than that. It's probably better than a cow, so I'd say it's B tier, but I'll be open to changing it if you give me a good argument. Alright. Next up, we got the Drowns. They're the underwater version of zombies. I think it's kind of cool that they have tridents and stuff. Oh, Donkey seemed like a little trash vibe because I fell off one while I was little. Well, I understand your pain, but like, that is still a little bit of bias, and I can't really be biased when I'm doing these. Like, if I just gave, like, I don't know, chicken E tier because it bit my finger or something, that'd be pretty biased. And that wouldn't be a very good tier ranking, you know? I'm trying to do these, like, less opinion-based and more so how they function. But yeah, for the Drowned, it's an underwater zombie that they're the only mobs that spawn tridents, and they are just like, that's all I really have to say. I think that they're like a better rendition of a zombie. Like, if you were to have a zombie, it's a little bit better than a zombie because it's able to have tridents. And they're like the only way to get them, and you get Nautilus shells, even though I've never used a conduit in my life. Hey, what's up, Sad PR? But yeah, I think B or C tier for Drowned. Is it as good as a horse? Is it as good as a cave spider? Is it better than a creeper? Is it better than a wolf? Um, I'd say probably B tier. I don't know, it feels like it's a little bit up there. Next up, we got the Elder Guardian. It's considered a boss mob, and to be fair, that's a pretty solid claim considering the amount of resources that you have to put into fighting it, and you get a lot of gold from it. But I will say this, and this is a very fatal flaw with the Elder Guardian. It hasn't aged well. Like, all the gold that you can get from it, you can easily go in the nether and mine it off the walls now. Like, a lot of the reward that it gives you is kind of useless if you really think about it. It's completely just nonsensical. Like, going down there, and it's a complete waste of time. A or B for Drown should be A or B because they have tridents better than zombies. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's why I put it up here. The same reason why I put Cave Spider up here, because they're a legitimate challenge. Oh, it's okay, that's fine. I understand you. But yeah, I think Elder Guardians are, you gotta knock off points for the fact that now, like, gold is more readily available. They used to be a really great thing to be able to do, until it was made useless. But I'm not gonna let that judge it too harshly. So I think I'm gonna give it a C tier. It's still a good boss, but it's a lot more useless. Yeah, I agree with C tier. Like, it could definitely be better. Okay, now we got the Ender Dragon. Oh boy, this is gonna be a big one. The Ender Dragon is like one of the most widely known mobs in Minecraft. It's the ultimate boss fight in the game. And it's very interesting that like a lot of people would probably say it's S tier just because of how memorable it is. But I'm gonna have a little bit of a controversial opinion here. I think that the dragon fight, with how epic it is, it could be better and more difficult. Because come on, like it's really, you can beat it quite easily with just a bow and a sword and a little bit of armor. It's not really that much of a threat when you really think about it. Like, it's still a threat. Don't get me wrong. It's still very good, and the amount of harming it does is really dangerous. So I think it deserves points for that, but I don't think it would necessarily be S tier, because it could be a little bit better. I don't know how to beat the, if you don't know how to beat the game, the Ender Dragon would be impossible because you can't aim. Yeah, you're right. I think that I'd probably give it A tier. It's a very good mob, but I think there could be something a little bit better up here. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna find something better than it, you know? Now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably move this one down to F because it shouldn't even be on the list. Like, I don't know why this right here is on the list. It shouldn't even really exist. It's kind of useless. Alright. But yeah, I'm gonna chug on forward. Next up, we got the Enderman. Teleports around, and you can't look at it, obviously, like everybody knows that. I think that Endermans are pretty cool. They drop Ender Pearls, and they're important for beating the game. Maybe not as important now because you got frickin' piglins to trade gold with you and get Ender Pearls, but I remember there was one time, like, this is not going to factor into my decision, but there was one time where I had an Enderman place a block in a cow farm that I had, and literally all of them got out. Like, that was pretty terrible luck. But yeah, all they really do is steal blocks and stuff like that. Although I do think that the Enderman as a concept is a decently cool one. In practicality, it's not amazing. I think that, I'd say, I don't think it's as useless as a chicken. Like, I think it'd be better. Enderman can be easy to beat. Yeah. But I think it's better than a chicken, to be fully honest. It's better than a chicken, but not as good as the stuff up here. So I think Enderman should be C tier. Because they're not as good as the B tier stuff, but they're not as bad as D tier. You know? I think that's a fair placement. If you stare at the eyes, it will stay still. No, I'm pretty sure that's the legs. Like, you have to stare at it in the legs. And, if you stare at its legs while you're hitting it, it won't teleport away. But yeah, I guess you're right. Anyway, we got the Endermite. Basically an annoying nuisance that spawns sometimes when you throw an Ender Pearl. Even though, like, you get hearts of damage from an Ender Pearl, but that isn't really enough. You got these annoying little pieces of crap too. And, they just love causing problems. They're worse than silverfish because, like, at least silverfish you can completely avoid them if you really wanted to, but Endermites are just a nuisance. And they have no reason to exist. Yeah, Endermites are basically silverfish. You're right about that. I think that Endermite should get F tier. They're pretty terrible and they don't really have any redeeming qualities. And they're a straight up rip-off as well. So we got our second F tier mob. Alright, so next up we got the Evoker. The Evoker drops totems, so that's amazing. And they're good people at raids. And they can be really annoying, especially when you're fighting Vindicators at the same time. So they could definitely put up a good fight. So I think that definitely makes them useful. Like there really isn't a whole lot of downsides to Evokers. Like they can even run away from you fast. So I think that's a pretty good thing. Evokers in a raid can be really effective. So I think that Evokers, honestly, I'd give them A tier. There's not really much wrong with them. And I think that they're a pretty formidable opponent. Evoker is pretty OP, not gonna lie. They can spawn those things that can chase you, but at the same time they have totems. So they probably should. You know? High risk, high reward. Okay, next up we got the fox. Foxes are an animal that were added in Village and Pillage, although I haven't interacted with them much. It's just that one everybody was excited about them, and then everybody forgot about them afterwards. Really, the only thing about them is that, like, they kill rabbits or chickens. I can't remember which one. I think that, the fox is just kind of useless. Like, it really doesn't have much benefit to it. It's about as cute as the wolf without as much of the use as the wolf. I don't know about foxes, but oh no, nothing. Yeah, I don't think that they're as good as a wolf. I think they're D tier. They're not a complete failure, but they're not amazing either. I think that there can definitely be stuff done better with the wolf than how it works right now. Next up, we got the April Fool's Wither. The pink wither and that, the good thing you can use it for a chicken farm. Yeah, you're right, but it can easily get out of control and kill all of them if you're not paying attention to it. So it's not really that great for automation. So yeah, the pink wither, I'm gonna give it S tier. It's obviously the best mob in the game, and there's nothing that can really top it, man. You gotta give it S tier. Just look at that face. You can't say no to that. Now explain what is that. It's a glorious creation from the April Fool's update, and I think it's the best mob in the game, man. It's literally just incredible, dude. It's so good. Like, there's nothing else to say about it. There's nothing else to explain. You just gotta give it S tier. There's nothing else. Because if you don't give it S tier, the entire Minecraft community will hate you. Next up, we got gas. They make the nether a little bit challenging, and can blow up your portal if you're not careful. And I think that that in itself is a pretty good thing. Although they're really annoying to kill and force you to hide a lot of the time. But I guess that's part of the point of the nether. You're not supposed to feel safe. And they drop gas tears, which are an ingredient in making potions. So I'd say my opinion on the gas would generally be positive. Like, it does its job correctly. It's probably scarier than a blaze. They're harder to kill. So I'd say, you know what? Probably as good as an evoker. I'd say I'd give a ghast A tier. They're a little bit stupid, but they're good at dodging your arrows, and they could definitely give you a little bit of hell. And they have a clearly defined purpose. They follow it. Gas can be killed easily, but if you leave it alone, it can know you're off bridge. Yeah. It can be killed easily, but like if it knows about you, then it's gonna cause a lot of problems. It's gonna firebomb you, it's gonna cause a whole lot of havoc. It's just gonna constantly shoot at you, potentially blow up your portal, force you to hide if you don't have a bow or something to kill it with. So yeah, it can definitely be an actual challenge. Knock you off, I mean. Yeah, they definitely can. I think that gas are pretty good. Like, they're pretty scary. It's part of the game. And it's a very good part of the game at that. Also, did you know that the sound the gas makes is based off of a cat of one of the developers, I think? But yeah, that's all I gotta say about the guest. We got the glow squid next up. I think the glow squid is I don't know. I really don't know much about this mob, so it's hard to rate it. All I know is that it's like a normal squid, but it glows. Like what does it do? Is that another April Fool's? No, it isn't. It's an actual update. It was the mob that got voted in 1.17. From what I've seen, all it really gives you is glowing sacks or whatever they are. So that's what it does. So I think glow squids are just kind of the same as normal squids. Except for whatever purpose the ink sacs have that I don't know about. Yeah, I'd say glow squids probably not amazing. I'd say they're probably about D tier. They'll probably be forgotten just like the foxes were, to be fully honest. I think that's a fair assessment. Is there any phantoms on here? I want to know. Because oh, there's no phantoms. That sucks. Whoever made this list is a piece of crap. I wish I could rank the phantom. Because if I was able to rank the phantom, glow squid is like any other squid. Yeah, it is. If I was able to rank the phantom, I would have given it F tier hard because it was voted for and it's just so annoying to people who don't sleep. Because staying awake at night and fighting off mobs is enough of a challenge. So this is pretty much punishing. Phantoms pretty much punish you for skipping the challenge, which I think is annoying. So I don't know what the hell this is. So I'm gonna give it a F tier. Let's pretend that's a phantom, okay? Let's just pretend that this is a phantom. It gets F tier. Alright. Next up we got the normal guardians. Pretty much like the elder guardians, pretty straightforward. They attack squids and they're pretty annoying too. And they can cause a lot of problems in Ocean Monument. I'd say they're the same tier as the Elder Guardian here. They're C tier. It's basically just a smaller version of the Elder Guardian. Frickin' why is Herobrine in here? Whoever made this list, they're pretty stupid. I don't know why they'd include that. But Herobrine, I'm just gonna give F tier. Because that's not a real person. The normal Guardians are really annoying and do less damage, I believe. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're that bad because they do guard ocean monuments. Like, you can avoid them if you wanted to. So yeah, I think that Guardians I'd probably just put there. Next up, we got the Hoglins. They provide a pretty good threat in the Nether, but they also provide you with a food supply. So it's a danger, but it also gives you a reward. And I value that a lot. I think that's a very good thing. The fact that it's actually a good concept and it works well. Hoglins are really stupid and you could like easily lure them into traps and spawn kill them. But I'd say they're decent. They're not amazing, but they're alright. And they provide a food source in the Nether. Can really be useful in the Nether if you don't have food. Yeah, I think that's why they exist. They're supposed to be dangerous and they're supposed to have a high reward. So I think I'm going to give them B tier. One of my most unexpected rankings on this list. Wouldn't expect to be given. Like, I didn't think before stream, like, oh yeah, I was going to make this B tier. Like, I didn't think that, you know? So yeah, that's an interesting thing. With the horse, I don't really need to say anything. It's probably just going to be the same as the donkey, to be honest. They're the same exact mob. I don't really need to say much otherwise. Husks, They spawn in the desert and they give you hunger, which is really annoying, but at least they provide a purpose. Like giving you hunger is annoying, but at least it's something that makes them different from normal zombies, so it's not a straight up copy like the brown mushroom is. I think it's alright, but it's obviously not as good as the drowned. If the horse is fast, then it's OP. Yeah, but like, I'm thinking about the average horse. It's the same as the average donkey, pretty much. But yeah, with the husk, I think it's pretty much... It's not really that great. I'd say it's a little bit better than a normal zombie. I'd put it here. But it's not anything to write home about. Yeah, I like how I'm the only one talking to you. Yeah, it's just because, I don't know, people are too shy to talk in chat. Like in my other streams, I tried to encourage them to do it, but I just stopped doing it after I realized it didn't work. I'm trying my best to make the stream as entertaining as possible. You know? Okay, I'm trying to call John up again. But yeah, I appreciate you talking to me, dude. I'm glad to have you here. And it looks like putting tier ranking in the description worked out. I'm getting more views. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope to see you around in future streams.
Man, why are you like this?
Hey, I'm sorry. Glad to have you here, John.
I didn't. When you said it, it sounded like you're like speaking like it was gonna be in the future. You literally just randomly responded to me, and now like you didn't respond after like a few minutes or so. So I started
I'm
like
sorry. I didn't realize because you were just
said it in stream.
you waited for a little bit to respond to me, so don't act like you're innocent.
I didn't know. You're the one who didn't even like say it was going to me now.
Well, it's
You
fine.
basically you mentioned that literally at the last second, and I had to do something. So obviously I wasn't here for it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I guess that's kind of my fault.
Oh man,
I
just give me a
apologize.
second because I'm currently fighting for my life right now.
Alright. I'm just doing tier rankings, and for some reason, whoever made this list didn't have a frickin' phantom. But they had a weird, messed up gas, so I just pretended that was a phantom and gave it F tier.
What's it called? What are you ranking them based off of?
Just their functionality in the game and stuff like that.
Oh, what does that mean?
Like, just how useful they can be if they provide a challenge, or if they're just annoying. Like, I take that into consideration. Like, gas,
Why is weather the top tier?
that was the April Fool's Wither, and I gave it S tier because it's just that awesome, man.
If it's
On
the
most
April
of the...
Fool's weather, how is it the most what's it called? Useful.
Listen, it was a special appointment, okay?
I do not understand
It, it
your
was
ranking system.
it was a special appointment. It's not actually S tier, but it was S tier because it was funny.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So next up we got the Illusioner. I think this one is it really is a waste of potential. The mob was a great idea, and I think it could have made for a good semi-boss fight, but they never put it in the game, except for like summoning it, you know.
Hmm.
So I think that
I don't know much about the Illusioner.
yeah, basically it like makes copies of itself, and only one of them is the real one, and it gives you blindness. So it's like it's a pretty epic boss fight. Yeah, I think that the fact that it wasn't ever implemented in the game has to knock points off of it. Like, it really is a shame. But I think that it is pretty good regardless. Although it's wasted potential. So I'm gonna give it C tier. I know nothing about that mob. Yeah, exactly. It's just basically all it is an amazing boss fight that you could have if you really wanted to. It's too bad that it wasn't in the normal game. They could have put it in Woodland Mansions. Have it be interesting, you know?
Alright, there you go. Now I'm no longer chivalry.
Yeah. And next up, we got the Iron Golems. those large guys that go around killing mobs in the village and then get stuck in a trench, you know, John?
We're basing it off of functionality, you said?
Yeah.
They're pretty good defenders within the game, and they're useful for speedrunners for getting early iron. I would say
hmm
this would be A or B.
I think that it would be decent, but the only problem is that, like, if you actually considered it for its primary role of defending the village, like, it's good
Mm-hmm.
for speedruns, obviously, but as a village defender, it's not great. Like, it has a
The
lot of
man
health.
literally two-shot zombies and flings them in the air. What do you mean it's useless?
Not useless, but, like, just after a while, they get
You
stuck in
literally said
they
useless.
they get stuck in trenches, arguably more than villagers do. Like, if they're stuck in trenches, they can't two-shot zombies, now can they? Like, they're really
But they're still pretty good enough. I'd say at least a B.
yeah. I'd say B. Like, they're really powerful, but they're really stupid. Is my only thing, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I can understand that. They're pretty powerful, but they're not the greatest.
Yeah. Next up, we got the jab shape, the rainbow-colored one.
Yeah, have you already rated the sheep? Regular sheep?
No,
Or is there
I
a regular
haven't.
sheep? No.
Not yet.
Well, functionally, I'm like, realistically, like, it's just a pretty cool, fun little Easter egg. If we're going by, you know, your logic that you put the fucking April Fools with it, we may as well put in an S tier.
Oh, well, that was literally just a meme. Like, obviously, it's
Put
not
him in
really.
S tier.
No, not putting it
Put him
S
in
tier.
S tier.
You know what? I'll make a deal with you. Instead of putting it in S tier, I'll put it in A tier. Okay?
Sure.
Because it's not as good as the frickin' pink wither. Okay?
How isn't that good? That is good.
Because
It
literally just a
rainbows.
rainbow sheep.
It switches colors.
Okay.
Nothing else in the game does that. You can get wool and it also changes
Hey,
colors.
hey!
They're better with
Nothing
your
else.
rainbow.
Nothing else in the game does that. What do you mean?
Yes.
Like, You're saying that like it's a bad thing.
No, I'm saying I'm saying that's the reason to put in S tier, aka good thing.
All right.
You fool.
That's just like naming a Vindicator Johnny. That's like the same Easter egg sort of thing. And I think the
I
Johnny
guess, but
thing isn't insanely
at least
impressive.
with Jeb it's useful. Johnny just kills you.
Yeah, you're right. I
Oh,
mean,
actually
with
no, it does kill
Johnny,
everything else.
arguably,
No.
yeah, arguably the Johnny thing would help the player because it just like it makes it kill other stuff instead of the player. You know.
Hmm.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold
but if you're
on.
in survival and
Streams.
you try doing that, you're going to die. Unless you escape from him. Which is hard because he breaks down doors.
What happened
Okay,
to
I
the
don't know if he
stream?
does. He should. It seems to be fine for me.
Okay. For some reason on my screen it like glitched out. It's only showing the other
How are
screen.
you lagging on your own stream?
I don't know. But it's fixed now.
And the next one is the Killer Rabbit. I think
Yeah.
that's the same premise of the Johnny thing. It's uh,
Yeah.
does it attack everything? I don't. I know very little.
No, I
I
think
just
it's
know it
just
attacks things.
the thing about the killer rabbit is it's kind of yeah. Rainbow sheep is a good challenge if you try to find it, but that's like mini games. You're not gonna walk around and find a rainbow sheep. I was just responding to what somebody said in chat. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think rainbow sheep exists in the wild. I think what you're referring to is pink sheeps,
yep.
which spawn very, very rarely. But what's it called? What's it called?
Yeah. Killer
Spawn name.
rabbits. I think that it's pretty cool
Do
that you
they
have.
even attack anything else but you?
I don't think so. I think it's cool to have something where it's just like, rawr, it's gonna like kill you in
Also,
one
I
shot.
think
You think it's gonna live.
that other gas that you put down there, I think that's a mutant gas. You know those mods where it's like, you know, like mutant
Yeah, I
Enderman and
know.
all that stuff? I
I
think
was
that's
just
what that is.
confused for a while, so I just pretended that it was the
S
Phantom because
tier.
they put the freaking mutant gas in here, but they didn't add the Phantom. That's kind of horseshit.
S tier.
No, I'm pretending that's
S
the Phantom, and the Phantom gets F tier.
S tier.
No, it's not. You want me to like put every mob in the S tier?
S tier. You put the damn wither up there.
It was funny. So I don't know how to rate
Alright,
it.
but the bunny in all seriousness, I think he'd be D or C.
I think that
Maybe even
it would
E.
be better if it was kept in the game because
Is it
like
not in the game anymore?
yeah, I don't think it's in the game anymore. Like
In
it
Bedrock
used
or
to it used to in Java it used to spawn naturally, very rarely, but
really?
they removed it. So
That
the
sucks.
initial
Why?
premise was for it to be like, oh
That probably
yeah,
just
it's a
makes
norm.
sense with the lore.
Yeah, it would be like, oh yeah, it's a normal rabbit, and then just walks over and kills you.
I don't even think it hurts that much.
No, it was like it did a lot of damage. I think.
Um, Maybe that's why. They
Yeah.
should have just nerfed it, not killed it. But
Mm.
yeah.
And now you can
In
only
terms
summon with
of
your
what
friends.
we're rating thing, everything as at the D. Why is Creeper on C actually?
Creepers on C because charge creeper is on B. I think the charge creeper is pretty useful that you could have a mob be
You can
that
get heads and
dangerous.
stuff like that, but I don't get how a creeper is in their function now. I guess they give you gunpowder, but like,
And I'd say creeper was C tier. The main reason why I put it there is because it was slightly below B tier, which is the charge creeper. So I think it would have to be somewhat similar to that.
okay,
Yeah. At least that's my opinion on it.
fair enough. Llama S tier.
Nah, the llama doesn't get S tier. Come
Llama
on.
S tier.
So llama spits at you. Oh wait, 4 heart per hit for killer rabbit, so it could kill you within a few seconds.
I think with 3 hits, and that's if you aren't wearing a llama, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I think that's
It's kind of strong, yeah. That's stronger than I think zombies. I think they only do 2 hearts.
hmm yeah. Also,
That's
I
strong
didn't.
rabbit.
You weren't here in the stream for this, but Guardians got really nerfed on their rating because the reward for beating the Elder Guardian was all the gold, but like you could easily mine gold in the Nether now.
That is true.
So that was a fatal flaw to them.
It's 3 by 3 by 3, so you
Yeah.
get 27, and then you times that by 9. How much gold is that?
But like nobody even really bothers to go to the Ocean Monument now.
You would get 243 gold.
hmm You could
That's
easily
still
just do
that would
that.
take a while in the Nether
You could,
still, no?
I mean, yeah,
I
but
guess
you could easily
the
go and
ocean
then,
monitor is also basically an eco channel. I think yeah, I get it. It's not the only way to get a bunch of gold now. Makes sense. But
yeah.
yeah, llama S tier.
No, llama, it spits at you if you hit it, and I think that it's kind of funny. Like
But it
it's
also
just
spits
a
at everything
comical move.
else when it hits it. At least
Yeah.
put it in A tier.
I don't think it's A tier. It's not as good as the Ender Dragon. Come on, but I
It's
think just
on par.
for comedic value,
Are you at least put in B because you have oxalots there,
it's
and they
yeah.
basically do the same thing.
No, I don't
There.
have ocelots in B. I have
Not oxalots.
axolotls.
Axolotls. Yeah, I forgot the name.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll put it in B
Pufferfish
tier.
S tier.
It's just it doesn't get S tier because what?
Pufferfish S tier.
Pufferfish S tier. That's
Yes.
down the road. You have to wait.
No.
Okay.
S tier.
Oh, you gotta. You wanna know? You wanna know what I say to pufferfish? Chomps carrot. Uh,
At least put in C tier because you put regular fish in D tier, and obviously it's more useful than a regular fish.
I think it's just kind of funny. I'm be right back. Hold fast for 1 minute. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. Could you entertain stream for like a
All right,
millisecond?
cool.
Thank you. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Got it. Hello, stream. Now I'm in charge of this place. So, we can all agree. Pufferfish S tier. What's it called? If I'm being real though, if we're doing the Magma Cube next, depending on its usefulness, I'd put it also at C. A lot of C tier bombs here. We're not gonna have no space for them. I mean, think about it. They give you fire resistance potion that's like extremely useful, even in the Nether. Not even in the Nether, especially in the Nether. I mean, because everything's fucking flaming. You drink that, and you're basically immune to like all sorts of damage. Even like blazes are much more or less effective because they barely do anything. The only issue is that you just have to bread, but all you need is just a little bit of glass, a little bit of water, and warts and magma cream, which you get from that. And I guess some blazes too. You have to kill blazes before you're immune to it. Kind of sus, but oh well. Progression in life. And then obviously the mushroom cow. That's obviously gonna have to be B tier because they put cows in C tier. The donkey. I guess it's slightly,
Hey, I'm
but it
back.
does scare you. Oh, hello.
Hey, what are you
So we
saying?
all agree. Pufferfish S tier, right?
No, it's C tier.
Yes.
Nah,
But I was saying, what's it called? Magma cubes are also going to be C tier, in my opinion.
I mean, Magma Cubes, they're in one of the worst nether biomes. The frickin' basalt delta, like, it's really annoying. So you don't even really gain much by fighting them.
You get magma cream, which literally gets you immune to fire for like 3 minutes, dude.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but like, who really gets to the point where they brew potions in most worlds?
Anyone but speedrunners.
You usually get netherite first. Like, to be fully
Yeah,
honest.
sure, but that still doesn't necessarily make you immune. And honestly, if you're smart enough, all you need is just like a bit of glass and stuff like that, and a bit of water, and you could just immune to heckin' not exactly immune. There are fireballs still hurt you, but blazes will be like 10 times less effective.
Yeah,
Simply put, it's a smart choice. It still has a very big use, and I think that's enough for it to at least be C tier. Especially since you
yeah.
put creepers there, which literally explode you or just give you gunpowder.
I think that creepers, the reason why I put it in C tier is because it does its job correctly. And what I mean by that is that, like, it pisses people off, yes, but, like, it was made to piss people off, and I think it does a good job of what it was trying to do.
Well,
You
if
know
we're
what I
ranking
mean?
out things like as good as they're trying to do, wouldn't many of these like be good at what they're trying to do? Like
Yeah, but, like,
purifying.
there's also mixed with the usefulness. Like, obviously, you need creepers for TNT, too. It's kind of a mix of the two. Like, the purpose of the mob and what they're trying to do. Like, that's
Well, I mean, like,
why Brown Mushroom was E tier, because it didn't even win the vote, and it's a straight up copy of the Mushroom.
not copy.
You know?
It's the same.
Yeah, it's basically the same exact mob. It's a ripoff.
It's literally just another type of like thing. I don't know why they didn't just add to the game normally.
Yeah, I
They should
wanted
have
the
been given not a
Isolager.
vote. So why is Glow Squid on D tier?
D tier because all I really know about it is that like it drops glowing sacks and it's basically the same as a normal squid.
Yeah. So like why D tier?
Because
How is it
like
more useful than a bat?
how's it more useful than what?
A bat.
I don't know. Just it might have some other use that I don't know about, so I decided to give it a little wiggle room.
Fair. It does have some use. It makes what's it called? Words on a sign glow in the dark, and same thing with item frames. But I
Okay.
mean, like realistically, like it's literally just it's barely anything. It's very useless. All it does is just float around,
Yeah.
and it says it glows, but it doesn't. And the textures make it like glow in the dark, quote unquote, but it doesn't emit light.
It
It's
was
just the
all
textures. It's a loser.
it was all
Makes
Dream's
no
fault.
sense.
He endorsed
It's
it.
Stream's fault.
Yeah.
All right, fine. D tier is fine, but
Okay.
it's definitely not C. But
Okay.
yeah, Magma Cubes are definitely C. I'd say so.
Yeah, I'd say they're decent. Although they're in like the worst biome. 'Cause that knocks it down from being B tier or anything else.
I think B tier would be too much at that point.
Yeah.
And then
Because
Mushroom
B
Cows.
tier, wait, before we move on to that, I just want to say B tier is like the category of mobs that are either useful or they provide a challenge, something like that, you know? So they're good
Oh,
mobs, but not good enough to be A tier.
hmm. And what's it called? And since you put the cow on C tier as well, I think we put Mushroom Cow on B tier.
And well, I'm gonna discuss this for a
It,
little bit.
you can shear them and to make them a normal cow, first of all. And not only that, but if you can milk them for mushroom stew, which is basically free food.
Yeah,
Free
you're
food.
right,
You
but
don't
if
even have
you're
to kill them.
yeah, but if you're late game, then you're to the point like in most cases, even mid game, you could just like get a flint and steel, kill normal cows, and get like freaking steak. You're probably not gonna need
Well, all you
mushroom
have to
stew.
do is just shear them. It's literally 2 iron, and then they become a normal cow. They have the versatility of
Yeah, I
being
guess you're right.
more than just a cow.
Yeah. Hey guys, make sure you like the channel. Helps a lot. But yeah, I just think that cow
D
is
tier.
definitely at the very least a normal cow. I don't think it's B tier though. Like
At
it's not as good as an axolotl or a
least put
blaze.
it in front of the cow then.
Well, it's going by chronology, not by quality in the tiers.
What?
Like I talked about wolf first, then the cat, then that's how I did it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd say they're both C tier, but the cow gets a gentleman C plus. How about that?
What does that even mean?
Like consider it on the upper side of the C tier.
Yeah, okay, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Donkey, I think would also. It's definitely at least C, but it could be in
I'd
B because
say
of the
it's
horse.
the same as the frickin' I'm just
Horse.
grouping the horse, donkey, and mule all together because
Yeah.
they're the same animal.
Essentially, donkey can carry chest. Horse is just fast as fuck, and llamas are slow, but they spit and attack, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I just think the llama's
Like,
funny.
oh, the llama is just a funny character. Put him in A tier.
No, I'm not giving him A tier.
Put
Listen,
him in A
A tier
tier.
is a bit too much, but B tier is a
Put him in
decent.
A tier.
No, I'm not. Listen, I already got your
All right.
Jeb Shep in A tier.
A tier.
Jeb Sheep, I mean. At least
At
the
least the
mushroom.
mushroom cow, it's
It is.
better than the cow. See, that's what I mean. It is
Yeah,
better
it
than
is
the
better than the cow. I'm just saying that it's still C tier, although it is better. Like it's
cow.
in the better C tier.
Wow. Alright, fine. And
Yeah.
what's it called? So it's ocelots next, right?
Yep, ocelots.
Ocelots, I mean, like, the biggest thing is they scare what you call creeper. That you generally just have them around.
Yeah, but
You
I'd
know,
say
exploding.
the main thing about the ocelots is that they're pretty much useless now. Like you can't tame them anymore. You can only like bring them around with a lead.
Oh, that's right. They're not like cats anymore, huh?
Yeah. So I'd say
I mean,
that's
that makes sense.
definitely gonna
Yeah,
knock it
you were
down.
Ethan. I didn't realize. Yeah, definitely
I'd
be early.
say, yeah, I'd probably say there's foxes, but it's even less useful than that. So it's like probably E tier.
Yeah, I know you could say. Because at least with, what do
It's one of
foxes do?
foxes are literally just whatever. It's that one mob that people cared about for a
They just
while
have
and
more
forgot.
features than the ocelots. Ocelots just run around and scare creepers. At least what's
Oh.
the foxes? They can leap around, kill things. They like berries. You can just
Hmm.
keep them, and they can hold stuff for you.
Yeah, ocelots are really a setting sun. A lot of people loved them, and then their thunder was just stolen
Fair enough.
for literally
Pandas.
no reason, might I add. Like they really didn't have to add cats; they could have just kept the ocelots.
I'm not exactly sure why either. I guess they wanted to try and make things more realistic. But they just made things a little more confusing.
Hmm.
Because even I like found an ocelot one time and I tried taming and it just didn't work. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
But
up, we
what's
got
it called?
the pandas.
Pandas. S tier.
They no, stop saying
S
everything's S
tier.
tier. You want to hear my genuine argument for the panda?
Sure.
They're really cute. They eat bamboo and they get angry at you when you get like when you try to attack them. They're pretty cute overall. Like they're pretty awesome, and they drop fish whenever you kill them. Which you'd be a monster if you killed them, but still, that's something. I'd say
S.
panda, not S tier.
At least put it in
I
A
always
tier.
miss
You
the
have
word.
dolphins up there.
All right. I mean, I think dolphins are. It's not as good as a dolphin. Dolphin like helps you get across the water
They
faster.
roll.
It'll play with you. It'll like help defend or it'll, like attack stuff. I think dolphins are better than pandas, but pandas are still pretty good. I'd say I'd give it. I don't know, somewhere between C and B. I don't know which
I'd
one.
say at least B. Because you have uh, Axel is up there too.
Yeah, I'd say it gets B tier. It's
Also,
about
yeah,
the
like
same
I'm
as an
confused.
excellent.
Why are drowned and B tier?
Drowned
I
is
guess
in B tier because they're the only way to get tridents and they help with conduits. I don't really use those myself, but maybe
I know.
somebody
Yeah,
uses
I
them.
was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'd
you could
say,
just I think chest though, but
yeah,
I guess
I think that it deserves more than the husk gets, and it's at C tier.
yeah, no, that's fair.
Mm. And then we
S
got the parrot. This one is pretty interesting.
A tier.
It's really awesome, and it'll dance sometimes. You can. I remember there used to be the whole scandal with feeding it cookies. Remember? Panda
Mm.
don't really do much in real life, both in game and Panda are Panda things. Oh, that's funny.
No, I generally, as a pet, they're kind of useless. Honestly, I'd say B.
For parrots, I think they're
Because wolves and cats are both at C tier because they have versatile and stuff. Parrots literally just sit around and float around. The best they could do is mimic like things when they're close. So like if a creeper's close to you, they can make a little sound, and it could
You
be a
know what?
precautionary warning, but they don't do that on purpose.
Okay, you want to hear my argument here?
Sure.
Llamas in B tier, and it's like got the same comedic value as parrots, but I will say they're also probably more useless than wolves, obviously. Like,
Hmm.
so I prob so for B and D, the two inclinations that I have, I'd say the right way to go about this is to put it in the
D.
middle of those two and put it C.
D.
No, I think it should be C tier because, come on, you got
Why?
llama in B tier. Like
Llama is useful though. They can at least attack.
yeah, but that's
They
literally not
actually can
much.
just fuck up moms, dude. It's hilarious. They're
Yeah,
like
but
little
like
turrets.
the parrots are cute too, though.
The parrots are cute, but they literally are completely useless.
They are useful. So like, freaking, do you remember Dream's manhunt with the parrot as his best friend and freaking everybody killed it?
D.
And that was so sad. I don't think it should
It
get D
really
tier.
just says about that.
It's not as useless as the glow squid or the freaking chicken. It's better than a chicken. You gotta admit that. Okay, see, honorable.
Chicken drops food though, and feathers. We can craft arrows with.
Yeah, but chicken are really annoying. They can also trample
Gotta
your
go.
crops.
Sorry, it was a nice stream. Alright, we'll see you later, Honorable. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
I said see you later. I said that too.
They literally just sent it, but alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that. No, they sent it a little bit ago.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah, but
Probably.
for the parrots, I'd say I would at least give them C tier. They're more memorable than chickens are. Chickens trample crops. They're kind of annoying, and you'll just be like farming normally, and it attracts them because you're holding a wheat seed. That really pisses me off. You know,
What now?
like freaking chickens. You'll be farming normally, planting with wheat seeds, and they'll just show up and be annoying and just be a nuisance. Well,
Literally just kill
parrots,
them. They're free food.
yeah, I know, but if it's a late game and I have golden carrots, I literally have no use for it. It's just a useless item.
They're also really good for XP.
And they're really
They're
hard to
very
do
cute to
the.
breed because you don't have to what's it called grow wheat. You literally just you
Yeah.
farm wheat and you can give the cow stuff and you get like basically twice as 1.5 as much seeds most likely. And then you can
Mhm.
breed a lot of the chickens, which give you tons of XP, and then you can just kill all the adults, which give you even more and food.
Yeah, but also.
Not only that, but they can use in what's it called those farm things where like if the chicken grows up, they get caught in the lava and then they die.
Yeah, I just think the like. I don't know. I personally would like the parrot more than the chicken. Like it might be useful for
And
some people, but
parrots are just like pretty neat pets to have. But like you literally say like if you're talking about versatility and like literally any other like thing like parrots are not as good as chickens. Parrots are pets and they're pretty neat, but they literally are entirely useless.
yeah, I guess you're right.
They're
You
useless
know what?
as pets.
I'll give it D rank like you said, but I'll give it a gentleman's D plus. Like it's probably better than the fox.
Yeah, no, it definitely is better than the fox. You can't tame a fox, and all it really does, honestly, the foxes just kill your things and stuff like that because they can just jump over fences.
Yeah.
But they're still pretty cool, and
I
that's why I
mean,
really love
that's
them.
an accurate portrayal of the real world. Foxes are a problem for that.
Yeah, yeah, no, they're pretty cool. I like them. They're just neat.
Yeah.
Next mob,
Next, we got the piglin.
A tier, genuinely,
Now
because
listen,
he
can
gets
I listen?
stupid.
Let me actually do the argument first before you
Okay,
say like A tier or S tier.
S tier.
Okay. So first of all, I think the interesting thing about it is like the unique mechanics of this mob. The fact that like
hate
you have to
trade.
use not only that, but like the fact that you have to wear gold to not have it attack you. Like there's a
Mhm.
lot of clever stuff built into this mob along with the trading thing. And it's really
Mhm.
good for speed runs and pearls. So you don't have
Mhm.
to kill
And it's not
anyone.
even like just only useful for speedruns. You can just use them as like the fastest and easiest way to like get pearls and stuff. Plus
Yeah.
they drop what's it called? I think they're the only way you can get crying obsidian,
Mhm.
which can get you that lobstone, which can I think let you spawn in the Nether, which would be pretty useful if you plan to live in the Nether. That's a thing now. And aren't they also used for those tracker thingamajigs where like you can right click it with the compass and then you can just see them anywhere, or is that another stuff?
I
I
think
don't know,
that's
but
something
simply
else.
put, piglins have a lot of stuff into them. That's why I generally think they are like literally A tier, especially they're just like useful for like any other type of playthrough and stuff like that, and they're just pretty cool. Not only that, but like you say, they have a lot of mechanics to them. A lot more than just if you were gold, they won't attack you. If you try stealing their stuff from the chest, if you break the gold, anything like that, they will attack you and they will just try to stop you because they like that. They're literally like another
Mhm.
sentient living race, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'd say I'll give it A tier.
Cool.
So what about the piglin brute? Isn't that
The
basically the same
piglin
thing?
brute, it's not the same thing because piglin's brutes always attack you, even if you're wearing gold armor. They're like the
Oh, so
fucking
they're just.
soldiers. They see you, they attack you on sight, and you see how they have an axe? Those things
Mhm.
do a fuck ton of damage. You can be wearing like good iron armor. Those things will like fucking two-shot you, dude, my guy. They're strong as
Yeah.
hell. Imagine on Vindicators, but as piglins in the Nether, you know? They're fucking
Mhm.
strong and they will destroy. And
Yeah.
because of that, I don't think you can trade with them or anything like that. But they're only seen in bastions, and that's what they're trying to protect because there's a lot of loot and stuff in bastions. So basically, they're like taking like precautions step further and just killing you on sight rather than considering trading with you before you actually try stealing their stuff.
Yeah. My question is, what tier do you think I should give him?
Considering that
Because I don't know.
on a mechanical like standpoint, it's still a pretty cool mob, and like you said, it does its job pretty well, aka defending the place. But like other than that, I don't think they even drop much, and they're just
And
very
they're
strong
really
mobs that
not
you have to deal with.
memorable.
Yeah, they're like imagine like blazes, except like yeah, I don't know. They're just really good at attacking. Really, they're just good soldiers. They attack things. They're a pretty good challenge, and that's what I say. So I wouldn't say they're HO. I'd definitely say B or C.
Yeah, I think B would probably be better because it is a little bit of a ripoff, to be fair, and it's a lot more niche. So it's
I'd
less
say they'd be
uncommon.
stronger than creepers, dude. If they show up behind you, they'll fucking destroy you.
Yeah, so I'd say B is a fair ranking.
Hmm. All right, now,
Gentleman's B minus, like just the lower part of B tier.
yeah, no, that's it.
hmm Next
All
up,
right,
we got
and
pigs.
pigs are very man. I'd say
Yeah,
they're less than cows because cows at least give leather, and those can be used for books and stuff like that. Well,
and
pigs, literally
I'd
they
say,
only drop work. I'd
yep,
say low C or D.
I'd
There's not
say
much else to say about
probably,
them.
I'd probably say my first instinct says C, just because chicken is on D tier and it's better than chickens and it's better than
Yes, yeah.
parrots or killer rabbits. Yeah, I think lower
Hmm.
C tier would be a fair
Yeah, low
placement.
C. Very simple mob. Doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
And it has a smaller hitbox than the cow, but the cow practically gives more, so you can
yeah. God damn,
Alrighty.
I wish there was an actual phantom on this list. So I don't have
Mhm.
to pretend that this freaking mutant ghast is the phantom.
Why is the cats in there?
I don't
How
know.
strong
Whoever
is a
made
mutant
this,
cat?
I don't know and I don't care because I'm not covering
You
mods.
should just you should just do a stream of you trying to take on all the mutant things and seeing if you could win.
I'll probably lose because I suck.
Well, direct the shot now. Alright,
Yeah,
and what are those called? Pillagers? Pillagers.
yeah, the
Pillagers.
ones with the crossbows. I'd say
Is
my
there
first,
is there one without the crossbow, like the regular ones, or
no. The Vindicator
just
is the
these?
closest thing to that.
Where are the Vindicators? Oh, they're down there. I think it's
Over.
just the crossbow people and the Vindicators. So the crossbow people, they're pretty strong to you early game, but later on they're more so of a nuisance. And what do they drop anyways? Do you remember?
The Illager banner, the one that's carrying it.
Oh yeah, they can be used to launch raids, but like really like that's the only good thing, and that's only if you kill the one with the flag on top of its head.
Yeah.
And all
I
they
would
really do is just
argue.
they protect loot, and it's not really good loot either, unless you're in a woodland mansion. But like those outpost things, it's primarily only them, and they're really just a big nuisance. You can kill them even
Mhm.
early game. The only good thing about them is that they're ranged, obviously. Maybe they
You
drop their crossbows. I think that's it. Yeah,
you want
so
to
I
know
think
what
they were
I
added
think?
when crossbows started to exist. So, hmm?
You want to know my opinion?
Hmm.
I think they're probably not as good as like Vindicators because Vindicators really pack a punch, and so do
Yeah, no.
Evokers. So I think I'd probably say that the normal Pillager is kind of useless. So I'd say a fair rank for them is C tier.
It's just like any other like like battle scheme. Like you can't like really like be as effective without them, but like just them in general just are not as great as the Vindicators. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're necessary, but they're just not good.
Mhm.
If outposts were had better loot and they had Vindicators too, I think that'd be pretty cool. But now it's just them. It's very meh. At least they drew cosmos and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, definitely C tier to me.
It's crazy the amount of mobs that just end up being meh on here that
Hmm.
could be better if they were just worked on a little bit.
Hmm. I mean, I think honestly, they're basically kind of like skeletons if you think about it.
Uh,
Skeletons, except they do a bit more damage.
hmm
All right, and now polar bears, right?
Yep, polar bears. Um,
Uh,
can
they
I can
literally
I
like.
from
Yeah,
now
go
on
ahead.
can I say my initial opinion before you go on ranting?
So like C tier.
You want to know what I think about it? I'd
Yeah,
say
go
they're
ahead.
not as good as pandas, and they're basically just they're almost the blank slate of the bears, if you know what I mean. Like it's just they don't have anything special about them. They're not
They.
as useless as like bees or anything like that. I think C tier is a good rating.
Yeah, I would say C tier too. I mean, like they can if you compare them to pandas, they're almost the same thing, except pandas are cute and they have a bit more little mechanics to them and stuff like that, and they're
Hmm
more rare the pandas, I believe.
Yeah.
The
So
polar
it's
bears, they're
basically the
polar
panda's
bears are
less
cool.
desirable older brother.
E. I mean, it's just a bam again.
Yeah,
And a weird,
sorry.
it'll be slightly better if what's it called? If they attacked you on sight, like like maybe like actual bears would be, but no, they only defend themselves. It's kind
Yep.
of meh. It'd be pretty
hmm
cool if you'd had to like face other mobs like during the day too.
And
But what have it?
you wanna know an interesting take on it I have on it too?
Mm.
I think the fact that it came in a time where Minecraft was in a recession definitely also hurt its memorability and definitely took points off it, you know?
Mm.
Because it was in the period of shitty updates like World of Color, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It was very just like mob just like that rally came in. We literally only like noticed the game when we started playing Minecraft again, and we're in still by, and we're like, "Yo, what the fuck is that?"
Mm. Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
it's just that has part of like it owes part of its obscurity to the fact that it was in 1.10.
Hmm.
Yeah. Shat! Sorry, my dog's in the other room. He's a German
Yeah, I think that's
Shepherd
all
and
we can
likes
really say.
Westminster.
It's quite a simple mod. It attacks you, drops fish.
Yeah. It's like the very definition of C tier.
Hmm. All right, and now bunnies, which
Rabbits.
yeah, I can go ahead.
They're cute, but they're annoying. Those are my first two emotions that come to mind when I see them.
Really?
Yeah,
I would just say they're just quite useless if anything. I
yeah.
mean, like think about it. Like if you're comparing them to like say chickens, which is on D tier, they practically give less. They have a smaller hitbox than the chickens, and they only drop like a rabbit hide and sometimes do they even drop meat of any kind?
Yeah, they do. But it's not, it's
Yeah,
basically just, it's more useless than pretty much any of the other mob drops.
yeah, exactly. I would even like I would even
I
say
think
like a E
E tier.
tier if
Yep.
anything.
hmm
Because like they're worse than chickens for sure and stuff like that. And all the others at least have practical uses.
Yeah.
This thing just gives a bunny hide, and those are only useful if you get lucky enough to get four of them. We can just get one leather, but honestly, just
hmm
kill cows instead if you're trying to do something like that. They literally just something you just kill on the way by, because you may as well. I guess the one practical use you can use for them is that with the rabbit's foot you can make jumping potions, but even jumping potions are mostly just completely useless. So
Yeah.
yeah, E
I
tier
just
for
think
me.
that rabbits are just part of a series of one black mobs that are useless. You're pretty
Hmm.
right about your analysis. Like, just a lot of those one block mobs tend to get pretty bad ratings. Like, if you look at it.
Hmm. All right, Ravagers.
Ravagers. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Alright. So for Ravagers, they're powerful and they're pretty cool in raids. I just wish that they were a little bit smarter or had something to them more. Because as it stands, you could easily get around them by just like towering up a couple of blocks, and they're not even that scary. Like they're easily maneuverable around. I just wish that they had a little bit more to them. So
Yeah, yeah.
for my opinion, probably between B and C. What's your opinion?
Really, B and C. Uh, yeah, I would say around like B myself, because compared to like the X boys, I guess the X boys are a little bit more versatile, but like those things are big tanks, and like say against Iron Golems, I believe they are stronger. If they were to 1v1, the Iron Golems would lose. I'm like 90% sure. I think I watched the video about them when they first came out. So basically, they're pretty cool things, but like you said, with I like just most mobs in general, if you tower up, you can just destroy them, and but otherwise, they are like a pretty good challenge and stuff like that. In other
Hmm.
words, I think they're pretty good at what they're supposed to do and this and that, and they just bring a big challenge, and they're just really cool at seeing stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just the fact that Steve's so OP in general that they could just fucking just stack up and just avoid majority
Hmm.
of things. That's why pillagers exist, so they can just
That's
fucking shoot you
why.
down.
Why do you think the first thing in A tier is the frickin' Alex skin? I base it off just the player, so I
Hmm.
gave it A tier just because of how the game functions and how overpowered it is.
They should be S tier, if anything. They're like they have infinite potential and they can fucking kill.
You know, you're
Or you could
right.
just put or you can just be like, I don't know, like sexist or something and keep her at A tier, but Steve at S
I
tier.
gave I gave it S tier. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but no, yeah, definitely the player is definitely like way too strong for this entire world. So yeah, definitely S tier. If we're
Yeah, it's
considering them.
like
I don't
human
think there's a
beings.
no mod.
It's
Yeah.
like human beings in real life. Human beings would be S tier.
Hmm.
Unless like there's some immortal freaking slug or something that can just live forever.
Very true.
You know.
But yeah, Ravagers are definitely at least B tier.
Yeah, I think B tier is a fair bet for them. Like they're not
Mhm.
amazing, but they're decent.
Yeah, no, they're good at what they do for sure. I basically put them apart Iron Golems, but like on the other side.
Yeah.
Them
Like
two
they're
fighting
not.
is like like the big like it's like imagine a war, but like with two like big things fighting each other.
Yeah.
That's basically them too.
Although they are worse than like the Evoker because the Evoker is the most talented illager in my opinion, just because not only can they summon Vexes and like that spell thingy or whatever it is, they can also run away very fast. Like I don't know if you noticed this, but they're really fast.
Yeah, I remember them being pretty fast. Not only that, but they also could drop what's it
Yeah.
called, totems.
Mm. So it's
Totems
like high risk,
the
high
only way to get
reward.
them, I believe. Mm-hmm.
And it's also
Very
they can
true.
really overwhelm you if there's like vindicators and stuff helping them.
Yeah, no, they really are the pillager boss, and that's why they're A too. Yeah, no, I fully agree.
Yeah, it's the Chad of the pillagers, if you will.
It literally is.
Yeah.
All right. And let's
There's
just quickly
salmon.
get salmon out of the way. It's basically another type of fish. There's
Yeah,
nothing else
it's
into them.
D tier.
D tier. Fucking hell.
Mm.
All right. But
Goes
this one,
along with it.
sheep, we can actually talk about here.
Yeah. I'd say sheep. Come on, pigs and cows are in C tier. It's pretty
I
straightforward.
guess. Pigs and cows and sea tiers. Sheep, are they?
I would say they're a little bit less than pigs, but they're more than chickens, in my
I mean,
opinion.
at least they give wool, and the thing about wool is that they give you beds. So at least, yeah, I think
I think
C
C tier.
tier. They do give a little more, but like in terms of food, they're just not as great, you know.
Yeah.
But they're
So
better than chickens and and fish and all that. So yeah, yeah, no, a lower C tier, kind of like pigs, is a
mm.
safe bet.
so I'd say it's a gentleman C minus. Do you
Yeah.
think that's a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's good to me.
All right. Next up, we got Shulkers.
Shulkers are pretty nifty. The unique mechanic of, throwing them into the air and stuff like that. Even now, like, I still kind of like, they're pretty cool. They could be used for minigames and stuff like that. Plus, they introduced a loading effect, which is just also
Yeah.
pretty neat all around. I
And
don't
the
know what they
fact that
drop.
like you can teleport. They drop shulker boxes which you can use to
All
make.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Shulker boxes are incredibly useful. I think that combined with the fact that it has a unique, like, little, like,
And
playstyle,
the
and they could
fact
be
that they're
disguised as
rare.
blocks. Yeah.
Yeah. And just all that together, I'd say A tier even.
Nature. Nah, I think they're not as good as, like, functionality as, like, the damn fucking the trading thing, which gets you in the first
Yeah.
place. They drop shulker boxes, which is really good. I'll admit that, but like, I think A tier is a bit much. Like, we're putting them apart with the Ender Dragon Nexus and Dolphins,
Yeah,
dude.
I
That's just
guess you're right.
they don't they drop shulker boxes, but I mean, like, and realistically, like,
Yeah, I'd say B
they're
tier.
like blazes. They also drop like a blaze rod. It's the only way you can like proceed with the game with many of the aspects. I mean, they're still B tier, so I think
Yeah.
that with that in mind, I think B tier is pretty good for them.
Yeah, I'd
They're
say
not like extremely useful either. They are something that attacks you. They just have something that drops pretty good, and that's and like a little unique mechanic of making you float. But that's about it.
yeah. I'd say shulkers are critics B plus.
Yeah, I'd
Like
say B plus for sure.
yeah, it would be A in any other context, but it has a lot of strict competition and probably shouldn't be on par with the Ender Dragon. You're right.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Skeleton Horsemen. This one's pretty interesting. The stuff that
They're
spawns
pretty.
during lightning.
Yeah, the skeleton horseman. Yeah, like the one where like you see like I think you see like a skeleton. Or is it a skeleton horse or a skeleton that you see, and when you get close to it, strikes lightning?
It's the one that you get close to and it strikes lightning.
Yeah, I know that's what I mean. But like, what do you see? Because like it's a trap for a reason. Like you see the
It's a
thing, but then when you
skeleton
get close,
horse.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean. The skeleton horsemen, they are better than skeletons. We haven't rated skeletons yet, but they are better than that. And I'd say
Yeah.
they're
They're
pretty
better than
nifty.
both.
They're a good trap.
I'd say they're better than the sum of their parts. They're better than both the skeleton horses and the skeleton.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's like they're literally like the combo meal, you know. They're pretty cool. They shoot things, and they're just like a little nifty trap. But
Yeah.
they're really just like a one-hit wonder. Once you know about it, you just really just aim for the skeleton and so then just steal the horses because they're cool,
Yeah.
and you can like ride them underwater afterwards. So I
You want to
think
know what I
in that
think?
aspect, I'd say like yeah, like C or B tier, somewhere around there.
I would say
A
B, but
low B tier.
only by like a hair. Like it's
Yeah,
just
that's what
barely
I
there.
mean. So.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the mobs there, like they're not entirely useful. Like I don't want to put in C tier because the basic mobs are there. But what's it called? Like it's not really like at the same time like on par with all of like the other stuff like blazes and ravagers. They're pretty cool,
Yeah.
but like
I'd say
they're cool and that's about it.
gentleman's B minus. Like
Yeah,
but
no,
like
definitely.
very close to being C.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, completely agree.
Yeah. So for skeletons, I'd say they have to have at least C tier. They're not as useless as the other stuff on D tier.
Yeah, no, skeletons for sure. I think skeletons are like slightly better than zombies. That's about it.
Yeah.
They
And there's
fucking
the
have aimbot,
skeleton
dude.
horse.
Yeah, and the skeleton horse. I don't know where I would put this one because we do have the regular horse on B,
Yeah,
and technically, what's it called?
I have a controversial take on this one.
Go on.
Okay. So you can't even really tame this, and it's only really useful for like the skeleton horseman thing. If you just have it by itself, you can easily kill it, just harvest its bones, and go on your merry way. I'd say it's
I
honestly
think I
pretty
could tame it.
useless.
Can you not tame skeleton horses?
I don't think so, no.
Really? In
Yeah.
that case, then yeah, maybe probably like C tier or something like that. I thought
I'd
you
say
could.
it's probably more D tier because
I think Mari Carson is trying to tell you to say if you can play Hive later.
okay, maybe Hive later. I might do it.
E.
But for right now I wanna do this.
I wouldn't say they're if you really can't say them, then honestly D tier may like work as well with that because like it just seems entirely useless then.
And do you think it's really on par with a skeleton or a chicken jockey? I don't think so.
If you cannot tame them, then yeah, I'd say D tier. But if you could, I'd say like B or C.
Hmm.
I don't. I thought
But
you
yeah,
could.
it's not.
I thought
I'd
I heard
say
like something you can raid them underwater, but if that's not really a thing, then yeah, just D tier.
yeah, I'd say it's just it's not as useless as the straight up like failures in E and F, but it's not as good as anything in C tier.
It's true.
Yeah,
All right, let's
there's
proceed.
slime.
Slimes. All right, you go ahead.
All right, I'd say probably C tier, and hear me out. I have an argument for this one. I'd
Mhm.
say it's slightly less than a Magma Cube. Like the Magma Cube is slightly more interesting, but slime gets C tier just because it's above everything in D tier.
Not only that, but they do give you slime balls, which is the only way you can get a sticky piston and stuff like that.
And
And
leads.
leads.
Yeah.
Technically leads, yeah.
Mhm.
Leads and slime balls. Yeah, no, like I think slime is like one of those things where like you just eventually have to time just because you need slime balls for whatever reason. And they're I guess you can make like like slime blocks with them and stuff like that. But yeah, no, they still have like some sort of use. They're just a nuisance to find, and that's the only big thing. Other
Yeah.
than that, they're pretty nifty. Yeah, I'd say like at least C.
Yeah, I'd say C tier. It's slightly less than the Magma Cube,
And
but
if they're
still
fucking
good
huge, they
nonetheless.
will destroy you.
hmm Next up, we got the infamous Spider Jockey, the supposed
Spider
mob
Jockey.
that could kill you in seconds.
Mhm. I spider jockeys are definitely like pretty powerful with the skeleton Zeba and the spider being able to climb as well and stuff. They're a pretty
Yeah.
good pair, but they're still pretty easy to kill.
Yeah, I'd
So
say it's
I'd
kind of
say,
unfortunate. Well, you want to know what I think?
mm,
I think that it's pretty unfortunate how much they've been forgotten. Like, they used to be a big thing in the Minecraft community, and now they're not.
I think they'll always be they're like a legend, you know. If you see them, they'd be like, "Oh shit, it's a spider jockey." But then there's like not much else past that. It's just a spider jockey. They're
Yeah,
pretty
it's just like
responded, pretty nifty, but like that's it.
you never hear somebody talk about it in 2021, but like in 2013, they were talked about all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like they were like one of the like very rare mobs of the game, so it's understandable. But yeah, they're definitely like old news now compared to everything else. They're
Yeah,
like the old legends, and I'd say at least as high C. I don't
yeah.
know about B because the Horsemen things I think are slightly better
You know what I
because
think
they do
about
have
it?
armor and stuff like that, but they still
I
are
mean,
stronger than regular skeletons and stuff like that, which is why I say high C.
yeah, I would say, in my opinion, I think it should probably get B tier and hear me out. Like the
Mm-hmm.
skeleton horseman. You know what? Actually, maybe you're right. Maybe it should get C because skeleton horseman only got B by like a hair. So if this is slightly less, then it would have to be an incredibly high C, like a hair
Mm-hmm.
less than that.
And I think Spider Jockeys are a pretty high C, but they are not a what's it
Shouldn't it
called.
be?
I don't think they're being.
hmm
They're just pretty neat and stuff like that. With that being said, spiders. I think spiders are low C. They're pretty nifty. They can climb walls and they give string. All of that is extremely useful. Spiders are
Yeah.
one of those things where you kind of want to see them at the night. They can give you bows and they give you a lot of things. But as a
Yeah.
mob in itself, they're not entirely hard to kill. They're still strong, but they're not super hard to kill. So I'd say a low C, basically on par with the skeleton.
They're not as bad as like they're definitely better than cods, but they're not as good as blazes or cave
Comparing that
spiders.
to like the zombie, I think they'd also be a part. I think skeletons, spiders, and zombies are all just like the very basic on par mobs. So
Yeah.
yeah, see makes
I
sense.
think it's kind of funny how like cave spider got B tier and the normal spider is C.
Cave spiders do give you poison and have a smaller hitbox. I think
Yeah.
B tier
Cave
for them makes
spiders are
sense.
honestly just like more dangerous than almost anything else.
Yeah, not only that, but half of the time you see them, they're on spawners. There's a ton of them. They just fuck you up. They can honestly just kill you
Yeah.
if you're unlucky enough.
They can make quick
All
work of you.
right. Mhm.
Okay.
Squids. Fucking hell. I want to say low D or E. One
Yeah,
of
I'd
the
say
two.
squids are pretty useless. They wash up on the beaches all the time. And they're pretty much cannon fodder for guardians. You're right, they're useless.
They're
I'd say
they're
they don't even have like the potential use fact. Oh, yo, WSP, can I tell you something? I don't know who that is. But
yeah, what's up? Can I tell you something? Yeah, I don't know what he is either, but he wants to tell you something apparently.
yeah, what I was gonna say is that the freaking squids, I'd give them E tier because they don't have the potential use factor the frickin'
The
the
glow
squid
squid
is.
can be like semi-useful, and I'll give them that. Plus, they quote unquote glow. I'm still mad about that. They quote unquote glow, but
Yeah.
they are slightly useful as a squid. But that's really it. I'd say I guess higher E because I guess ink sets are like slightly useful. But this is
Yeah. Like it's not as
not even
useless
that.
as
It's a
like
C.
it's not as useless as like a bat, but it's still pretty useless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Steve, I think we just straight up just put this man on S tier.
Yeah,
A
because
man's a
we
myth,
put
a
Alex on
legend.
Esther.
Hmm Steve and
Yeah.
Alex, the most OP quote unquote mobs in the
Yeah,
game.
with the freaking pink wither up there as well. They're all up
the
there having
pink,
a party.
the pink wither can stand amongst the gods.
Yeah, the pink wither honestly deserves S tier.
Mhm. All right, get what's it called?
Stray.
Strays, right?
I think this one, for how interesting the mob is, it's pretty, it's fairly straightforward. Because it's not,
It's a skeleton that doesn't burn in the day and gives you slowness. I think they're just slightly better than skeletons, but I don't think it's enough to be B tier. Because at
yeah,
least with what's it called, cave spiders, they give you poison and they can potentially kill you. But strays are not effective enough to do much, really.
yeah. It's such
Also,
a
the guy keeps
shame,
saying
just,
that he's the raid person who keeps hosting the raids.
yeah. Well, thank you for doing that, by the way, dude. I don't know what you want to talk to us about, but you can say whatever you want. Uh,
I'm assuming he sounded like he like you know him, so like yeah, I'm not entirely sure either.
yeah, I think he's part of Exrovia, that's why.
Okay. Wait,
Oh.
what were you gonna say about the stories?
The strays, it's kind of weird just like how many mobs are kind of forced onto E tier. Or not E tier, C tier. Just because they're in between these two.
No, yeah, no, they really are just. I mean, like think about it. They really are C tier. They don't bring super much into the game. All they really,
Yeah, I know.
they're just a slightly better skeleton. They're C tier for a reason. I feel like it fits.
Yeah, I
I
know.
get
I'm
what
just
you mean,
saying
like
that,
how there's
like,
a lot of
it's
mobs in
just.
C tier, but
I would say there's just a wider range than, like, any other tier within C. Like, you'll have
mhm.
freaking chads like the spider jockey, and then pieces of crap like the sheep.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still debating if we should put Spider Jockey on B or not. Because they
I
are
think.
like a bit better, but no, strays are definitely C tier for sure. They're just a little bit better than a skeleton, and that's it.
Yeah.
Same thing. The same thing with Hus.
Hmm. Husks are
Alright.
just. Like, they're a little bit interesting, but not enough to raise a tier.
Yeah, no. I mean, they literally just give you hunger, which literally barely does anything, and they just don't burn in the day.
Yeah. I do think
Yeah,
it's
no, it's just
interesting
hunger
that,
slowness.
like, it's at least a unique thing for deserts. It gives it a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
personality, but that's it.
Yeah, no, I like Hux being in the game, but like that's really about it. If they added like a certain type of mod for every single like biome stuff like that, and they had their own unique effect, I think that does be pretty cool for Minecraft in general. But like, they literally are just a slightly better zombie.
Yeah.
That would be interesting though, if you think about it. Like literally, the plains biome and stuff like that is like the only place where like things are regular. But as you just explore the place, things you can have like a little side effect and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool for Minecraft. Sadly,
Yeah.
apparently, adding every single mob takes 5 fucking years. So,
It's fine. We're
yeah.
more than halfway through, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, no, definitely are. All
Yeah.
right, striders. Striders are pretty useful. They're like you can walk over lava
Yeah.
with them, and I think that's literally their only use and their only very good use. I'd say honestly, I'd say B tier just for that. I mean, we did put regular horses on B tier, but I think they are above that
Yeah.
just for how useful they are for the Nether and traveling around it. I don't
Mm.
know about A tier because like they're
Striders
not
are
super.
like
But...
the game's hidden Chad. Like
hmm
nobody talks about them, but they're amazing. You know what I mean?
hmm I mean, like you gave me like seeing in Dream, like literally like, Dreams, Speedo and stuff like that. The Striders like practically carried him a lot,
Yeah.
stuff like that. They are not
So
super
they
strong.
are
You can kill them
significant.
easily, but
They're
yeah.
significant to Minecraft culture at the very least by helping Dream.
hmm Yeah, like, they're just very useful mods. They're just like something to help with the issue of not being able to build around in another, and I think that's the best way they could have gone about it. And I like it a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Striders are definitely B tier for me.
And guess
Alright,
what
cool.
we got next? A mob
hmm
that's way worse. Basically a ripoff off of a bunny.
What is it?
The black and white rabbit.
What's the difference?
No difference at all. I think it's just straight up E tier like the other one.
Yeah, I know. This is definitely E tier. It's literally just a damn same mob. No. Yeah, I'm assuming. I want to say it is something, but like, I don't know what it is.
It's
So
not
we're just gonna
enough.
assume it's another rabbit.
Yeah, it's no. I think it's like it's an Easter egg with
Huh?
there's a lost rabbit of one of the devs.
Mm.
Like one of the devs lost a rabbit, so if you name it this, then it like gets the colors of that lost rabbit. So it's an Easter egg thing.
Ah, it's a little Easter egg. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess that is pretty neat, but yeah, no,
So
I don't.
D tier.
I like in terms of like what's it called, versatility and stuff like that. I still think it'd be D tier. I guess it is pretty neat. You could put on D tier just for the sake of being slightly better than Bunny as a cool Easter egg, but
Yeah.
realistically it is E tier. But yeah, just put on D tier. I think it's just neat enough.
Yeah.
Like a very low D tier, simply because it just needs to.
So gentleman's D minus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Next we got the wandering trader llama. I'd say this is straight up B tier. It's like slightly better than the normal one.
I guess it is, yeah. I mean, I wanted to say like you can get leaf and but no, don't you just get that from killing the wandering trader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the freaking they're
They
annoying.
just. Mm-hmm.
I would say like they're more fashionable, which gives them points up, but they're more annoying when you kill wandering traders, so that it gets points down. So I'd say that balances out to being as good as a normal llama.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think they're just a slightly like neater llama, and that's about it.
They're neater, but also slightly more annoying at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it balances it out.
All right, fucking Nemo.
Yeah,
D.
freaking. Nah, man, this is S. I'm just kidding. D tier.
S tier Nemo.
You know, what if I just did freaking S tier just to mess with you?
No,
You know, I'm gonna do it. S tier. Let's
no,
go.
please, not Nemo. Why is
You
Nemo so
know, no, it's
powerful
you
in
know what?
Minecraft?
I'll make a deal with you. I won't S
uh,
tier it. It's A tier.
A tier Nemo.
Yeah, it's one of the most powerful mobs in the game. Just up there
They
with
just made a new tier and said Nemo.
yeah, it's just it's a lot. It's the same level as Jeb, man. You can't disregard Jeb.
Is Nemo a rare mob? I don't know.
No, it's not. But I just literally put it there because why not? There's
Alright,
no
again,
merit to that decision whatsoever.
fair enough.
All right,
Alright, cool. Sea turtles.
sea turtles.
Uh,
I'd
they
say they're
give you the
fairly
helmet,
yeah,
but
but
like I don't think the helmet is even easy to get from them.
and not only
And
that, the helmet's relatively useless. Like most of the time, you'd
yeah,
want to get better stuff, and they're really annoying on beaches to deal with. Like they just trample over stuff and everything.
mhm. No, they're pretty useless. Like they have like some functionality, but that's it. I say like
I
they're
would
like I
say
said, they're better than a squid though.
I'd
At
say
least they have like something with them.
gentleman's D plus. Like it's higher D, but it's still D.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say around there.
Hmm
Like there's really not much into them, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, Vexes. Vexes are the minion spawns of the what was it called?
near the frickin' evokers, and they're annoying
Yeah,
as
the
hell.
evokers. They're annoying as hell, but I mean, like for the practical
They're
use of like
annoying.
being tiny little things flying in the air, I'd say at the very least, I
They
want to
do
say
their
B
job.
tier.
I'd say they
Yeah, they do
do
their
the.
job.
Yeah. I wouldn't say B tier just because of how pesky they are. Like, even after you beat everything else, they're still flying around
Alright,
making
like creating
walls.
these things from how annoying they are.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'd
I could
say.
see C tier, but I think they would fit in B tier, especially with oh, what's it called? Where are pillagers? Oh, no, pillagers are in C tier. Mm.
I'd say C
I
tier.
mean, like if we are saying like if we're gonna base them off of alone, they're really easy to kill, but like they spawn in a group and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I think
You wanna
that
know what
with the
I'd
fact they
say?
can go through walls and they're really hard to hit, low B or high C, one of the two has
You
to be.
wanna know what I say that I think would push it over the edge into C tier?
Mm.
Just the fact that they stick around and they linger around for so long after the fight's already done, and they're just a little bit of a nuisance. Like, you literally, all you have to do is walk away and they eventually lose interest.
It's true. It kind of dumb, huh?
Yeah. I just think
I
that
guess.
they teeter over the edge of C,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I see. Makes sense to me.
Next up, we got a hard one to rank.
A
Herner,
villager.
huh?
Uh, Villagers are pretty useful because of the trade, but I don't think their
Yeah.
trades are strong enough compared to
And
what's it
it's
called
funny
the
to torture
pigmen.
them.
Yeah,
But I'd say,
they're
you
really
know
just
what?
something you abuse for the sake of like progression and stuff like that. Once you like beat the rest of the
You
game,
know, I'd
essentially.
say that villagers are as you know what? You know how piglins are good for speedrunning? I'd say if you're
Hmm.
playing normal survival, villagers are as good as piglins in that aspect.
That is true. I
Other
want to
than the fact
say,
that they can't fight back.
yeah, but I mean like, that's the thing. That's why I think piglins are at least like somewhat better than villagers because they have a lot more mechanics than order I trade and I turn into a zombie get killed.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think villagers don't have super much into them besides the fact that they trade and they live in villages.
I
They
just
really
think
just
that
are very dumb things that kind of walk around, but they trade, so fuck it, dude.
I'd
I
say
say
B
B
tier.
or C. Yeah, B2 makes sense to me
Yeah, it's
because of the
like
functionality of trade.
because of how useless they are, I think C tier, but because of how good they are, like how piglins are, A tier. So I decided to meet in the middle and go B tier.
I don't know, B2 makes sense to me because they aren't as useless or like like as dumb like like kill this thing for like
Yeah.
meat or stuff like that. They have stuff
It's
going on
not
to them and they are a bit more complex, but they really do not have much else going for them.
like
But
they're not,
that one mechanic alone can be used and technically abused for the sake of progression enough. So yeah, B2 makes sense to me.
mhm. At least they're far ahead of the fucking Endermites, which are terrible.
Low B for me.
Yeah, I'd say higher B for me. So I guess
Okay.
that meters out to a medium B. Okay.
All right, what's it called? Ravagers? No, not
No
Ravagers. Damn.
Vindicators.
Vindicators. Damn. I
Here's
forget these things.
Johnny.
Johnny. I think they're like I said. The
They
what are
pack one hell of a
the
punch.
piglins with the axes? What are those called?
Piglin brutes.
Yeah, the brutes. They're basically piglin brutes, but on the overworld, really.
You
They're
wanna know
really
what
good
I
in raids
think?
and stuff like that.
You know what I think? The fact that they're in raids gives them a leg up over the piglin brutes just because they can overwhelm you in numbers and they got a lot of good things about them. Well, piglin brutes are very niche and you only see them occasionally.
Yeah. I mean, like, I will say this much. If you go to Woodland Mountains or in raids, those things are the ones you are afraid about. Literally, even like the big old Ravagers,
Mhm.
are not as fucking scary as this thing who fucking two shots you.
Yeah.
Practically one shots you if you don't have armor.
You want
Yeah,
to
no,
know
they're
what
really
I have
strong.
to say with Vindicator in terms of its ranking?
Hmm.
My opinion is that it's better than Villagers. I'd say it's
Mhm.
still not amazing. I'd give it A minus, like if I was given the
An
choice.
A? I don't know about an A, but
I mean, they're
definitely
on
high
par.
B for me.
I would say that like they're decently on par with the Evokers in terms of the power they have.
Really? I guess you're right, because like even though those things that thing can cast spells and stuff like that, it's not super hard to kill them.
Yeah.
Except that
And
they're
are you
fast, but
sure
that's
that a
pretty much it.
Villager would be on par with the Vindicator? Like the Vindicator is obviously better.
I guess, but at the same time, you have to consider the grunts and the fact that they are really like there to like protect like the loot and stuff like that, which is the same thing that Vindicate
Yeah,
the
but they do their job really good.
so do the brutes. They both
But
do the really job. That's what, which is why. I mean, if you really want to, we can move the brutes up to A tier 2 with all of
I
that,
don't
because I
think
think
I think brutes are different just because they're a lot rarer and just a lot less common and thus a lot less memorable. So that's gonna take a few points off.
I don't know, but I mean, I guess like the Vindicator is only less rare because they come in raids, but otherwise they literally are only in the Woodland Mansions, which, like I said, if you think about it, it's just another equivalent of the what you call the bastions, the big
Yeah.
bastions with a kind of gold in the middle and all of the chests and stuff like that, which could literally give you netherite, which
Yeah,
is
but there's
actually is gonna
also
be potentially better
you want
than
to know what
what's it called.
argument I have as well.
Hmm.
There's Jeb in A tier, and there's also a similar Easter egg for Vindicators as well. So that's another part of it.
I guess the one Easter egg may give it the edge, but I still think they're basically on par on every other aspect, like and everything they do. Besides the fact that they have, like I said, the little Easter egg and they show up in raids.
And they
But they
show up in
really are
large
like the same
numbers.
exact thing, just in other same exact thing, just in another dimension.
Yeah. I guess,
So
you know
okay, if
what?
you
You
want to
want to
leave
know
in
what I
nature, you
think?
can, but I think B high B makes sense to me.
You want to know what I would say?
Hmm.
What if A tier, but like only by a hair? Like they barely get it.
No, yeah, no, like that's definitely it. If it is going to be A tier, it's definitely going to be at least by hair. I don't think, because I don't think it's on par with the piglins that can trade a lot of little Easter eggs, Vindicare, the fucking Ender Dragon, and then Dolphins. I don't know why you put most of these up here, but I'm not gonna question it. But from
And
what we've
freaking
discussed
Ender
so far,
Dragons, Dolphins, they're very Chad. You know, Dolphins are
Dolphins
very
are really
fun.
good for the water, but they're not super
I
useful.
would say
I
they're,
don't know about
you know
A
what?
tier, but whatever,
The
man,
thing
whatever.
about Dolphins is that they have a lot to them. Like, you can play with them, they can fight, they give you that boost. They play, like, if you have an item, they can grab it and just, like, I don't know. And they're also very cute. They have a lot of things going for them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can kind of see it. Just not entirely. I don't know about A, but it's fine. I'm okay with them being there
Yeah,
for
it's
now.
better than a freaking villager. Come on. Like, if you consider the
You
villagers
know,
in B tier,
I guess that's true. But at
I'd
the
say
same time,
it's.
I would say the heckin' grunts would be better than villagers too. What am a nature, man? Come on.
But I don't like the. I don't think the Piglin Brood is just. I don't know. I don't think it's as memorable as the Vindicator is, at least in its pure image. You know?
I
Like
guess
in
it's true. They really,
functionality, they're the same, but
I guess. I don't know. To me, it kind of makes sense. Because I guess yeah, I don't know. Very hard
mm,
one to call. I
mm,
feel like if you really wanted to, you could maybe move the Grunts to A tier only if you move the Ender Dragon to S.
alright. You want to know what I think? It's just. And also the Vindicators, another thing that gives them the edge is the fact that the Vindicators came first. And I think that has to
Hmm.
have a little bit of points of originality for that.
I
That isn't a
guess.
thing. Yeah.
I guess.
Like, there's quite a few
And they
reasons.
are in the overworld and stuff too. But yeah, they're better than Groots like by enough to be an A tier by here. Yeah, no, that's fine to me. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
hmm
Alright, cool.
Sorry, I
And the
had to
Wandering
do a lot of
Traders.
arguing to
Hmm.
defend that one.
Yeah.
Wandering
By here, that's
Traders.
it. Hmm.
Wandering Traders. You want to know what I had to say?
Mostly completely fucking useless.
Yeah, that's
Except
what
for
I
the
was
fact that
gonna
they
say.
give leads.
Come on, dude. I was gonna say, I was gonna like fake out the audience and be like, you know what I think about these guys that's very interesting? Is the fact that they're completely fucking awful. Their trades suck and they freaking mess with all your shit. Like, they just
All they
randomly
really do
spawn.
is the only thing they're good for is giving the leads from the trading llamas and giving you the llamas themselves, you know?
Yeah, their
Literally,
freaking
if you see them,
llamas.
you just
Their freaking
yeah.
llamas are better than they are, to be fully honest.
I do love the mechanic that if it turns nighttime, they make themselves invisible so the mobs don't attack them. But other than
It's
that, like
Yeah, but
they're
they're not
really
able to
fucking useless.
defend them. Dude, listen, it doesn't even matter that they're able to defend themselves at night because half the time they can't defend themselves against players.
No, like no, they cannot. Like us players can put two and two together.
Yeah,
Mobs are
you know
stupid
what?
for what
I'd
now?
say, like, this is enough to bring it down to a D tier almost.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say D tier too, because
Yeah.
they're really fucking useless.
It's like the worst humanoid in the game, other than the Herobrine, which
If they
shouldn't
had
even be
like
on the
better
list.
traits, like insane, like potential like enchanting books and loot and stuff like that, that'd be really cool. But they
Yeah.
fucking don't. They give you
Then maybe
clay.
they would be able to skirt by with a C tier, but as it
Hmm.
stands, they're useless.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's it.
It's the worst
it
humanoid in the game.
really is.
Yeah.
Witches.
Everybody knows that witches are bitches.
Wow.
You know, I think the witches are a decent challenge, even though they're a little bit old school. The
Mhm.
fact that they poison you is about as dangerous as the cave spiders, and they give decent drops with healing pots.
They're the best when they have like other mobs with them. If you spawn a bunch of mobs at you and then you spawn like a few witches around you, you're honestly gonna get screwed because they throw a lot of like weakness potions at you and stuff like that, and then they splash damage potions at you.
Yeah,
Those
that's
things
why they
fucking
show up
hurt.
at raids. Like, witches show
Hmm.
up at raids, I'm pretty sure you know, right?
Really? I
Yeah,
never
they
knew
do.
that actually. Yeah, no, the witches are generally strong. I feel like they're like slightly better than any mods because they have that little push of more potential, you know? I'd say a high C.
I would say, you know what? I think it's enough to give him B tier,
I think so too, honestly.
just because of the healing pot drops.
Hmm.
The fact
Oh
that
yeah, the healing pots too. I forgot they fucking heal.
yeah, they're a good challenge. I think.
They're a slightly good challenge, but if it's just them alone, you can easily destroy them. But they are
Yeah.
like they're just unique enough and have that little bit of potential. And I think
Oh,
yeah, I think that's enough for B.
Sad just asked why is Nemo A tier? Because it's a fucking badass. That's why.
Nemo's fucking OP. What are you talking about?
It's a Chad, man. There's no way to get around that.
Yeah, but yeah, what's it called? What was it? Yeah, the witch is definitely a B-ish tier to me.
Yeah.
It's a B and it's B enough.
Mhm.
All right, now Wardens, the mod that hasn't even come out yet, technically.
Yeah. So how would
Interesting.
we rate this? We based
Has
off
it
the
even
trailer.
been? Yeah, the base. I mean, that's the only thing we can really do. They're not even in any snapshots and anything like that, huh? I think based on the fact that if you're wearing full fucking diamond armor, and the thing practically two shots you anyways, and the unique mechanics of the whole sound thing and stuff like that, all of that makes it
I
really
got it.
fucking cool. I want to give it A tier. They're
All right.
stronger than they could probably be both the fucking Iron Golem and the Ravager, based
All
on
right.
how much fucking damage it deals alone, and the unique mechanics of it only being able to see and stuff like that, and stuff like that. It's
Mhm.
just really fucking cool, and it's potentially gonna be only in like the very deep anyway. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it
no, they're
deserves
really
A
cool
tier.
and they're really fucking strong, and the unique mechanics stuff like that definitely A tier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know much else besides them, besides to do a lot of damage, and they're based off of
Shut up.
sound. What the
Shut up.
hell?
Sorry. I gotta be right back.
Okay,
I'll let you keep arguing your point.
cool. Uh, but yeah, I don't think we know much about Wardens at the moment, but Wardens, they're gonna be for the new they're gonna be part of this, at least the second part for the Caves and Cliffs update. We at least got the cliffs for now, but the caves are coming, and that's when the Wardens are gonna come into. They really seem really fucking cool. I love the fact that there's a new sound mechanic in the game too, with based on the sound and stuff like that. All of that sounds really cool. It sounds like it has a lot of potentials for mini games and stuff like that. I just really hope eventually Minecraft gets to the fucking combat system, for the love of God, so that we can actually have like a version we can all play. Hypixel can include so many more blocks and features and stuff like that. Just everything about the damn thing, so that we don't have to deal with this all of the time. But as for right now,
Okay, I'm back.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I was just talking about the point how it's gonna be pretty cool and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That
it
Warden
is.
is only gonna be in the very deep and stuff like that, and how it's cool that Minecraft added a whole like sound system to everything and stuff like that. Which, like I just said, has potential for what's it called? Mini games and stuff like that. But it just hurts me so much that we still are stuck in 1.8 fucking 2. I think it's 1.8.9. There you go.
One.
Because the
Okay.
fucking Minecraft that hasn't fucking done their combat update yet. For the love of God. Like, Jesus Christ, decide already. I want to play with people.
Yeah.
God. Hopefully then we can get all the new features and stuff like that, and they can make a better server. But as of right now, we're kind of stuck. Maybe Haito can come before then, and then we don't have to worry about any of that.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, Warden's area too. That's it.
Yeah. All right. So
Alright.
there's the Wither skeleton next.
Well, the skeletons they're neat. There's not much to them besides the fact that I guess they are the path to getting the wither in of itself. But
You
wither
know what I'd have
skeletons
to
by
say?
themselves, yeah, go ahead.
You know how like Wither skeletons give Wither?
Hmm.
I would say that might be enough to qualify them for B tier, just being able to rush you with it, like how cave spiders and witches can.
With Wither is like not super strong like poison though, and that's mainly because but they have the added feature of being able to wither you away to the point you die. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
neat. But Wither skeletons in and of itself are not fucking super strong. You can
Yeah, and
kill them
you
pretty
can
easily.
hide.
I feel like they're slightly worse than blaze skeletons. And if you have a shield, then they can't really wither you anyways.
So which tier do you think they should go in?
I think B, just for the sake, they are at least like a bit of a challenge, and if you were to come at them like alone, you'd most likely die. And they give the heads, but I think it's a
Mm,
low B.
yeah, B minus.
Yeah. They're not super good. They're not as honestly, I don't even think they're good as cave spiders just because of how threatening cave spiders could actually be.
Yeah, cave spiders, you can't hide from them. When with frickin' wither skeletons, you can pull the same trick you do on Enderman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're more dangerous than Endermen are, especially in groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, B tier for me. Low B. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
They're neat, but that's about it.
At least they're better than skeletons, so they can take pride in that.
Yeah. I mean, like compared to a zombie, they definitely are stronger. They're faster and they're stronger, so I'll give them that. Which is why I think
Yeah.
B fits them, but it's a low B.
Hey, John,
Hmm.
make it better, do it faster, stronger. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Work it hard and make it better. Do it fast and make us stronger more than ever.
Okay, here's the weather.
Oh, whether I think A tier, like immediately, just because of how
You
strong
know
they are
what?
and the fact that they drop another star and stuff like that.
Because I would say they're better than the Ender Dragon. I think they should go in S tier.
I think they are better than an Dragon in terms of difficulty in of itself, but I feel like Dragon should be an S tier because not only are they the final boss in the game, but they
But the
do give
thing
you a
is,
fuck ton of experience.
yeah, but the only thing is that the AI is very dumb, and just the boss fight, like the Ender Dragon fight is kind of easy. You could say the
Yeah.
same thing for the Wither fight, but like the Ender Dragon fight is a lot more contained, and you could win if you have reasonably good aim, you know. But with the
Mm.
Wither, you can destroy a fucking place with it.
That is true. That is a valid argument. I'll agree with that. The Villager is a
Yeah.
lot more threatening and stuff like that, and I'd agree that it is more powerful.
Why do you think
Very
Technoblade brought Withers when he griefed Lemanberg?
well. I don't think you can bring Enderman into the fucking
Yeah, I
overworld,
know.
but yeah,
But yeah, I
yeah,
remember
no, that does
summoning like Ender Dragons into the normal world before, and all they do is just sit at spawn, and that's it.
There is not meant for that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Withers are definitely strong as hell, and they definitely deserve at the very least A, but S tier makes perfect sense for them to
Yeah,
be in.
I mean, honestly, I gave the
Agreed.
April Fool's Wither S tier, so it's only fair that the normal one gets S tier.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's all to say. They drop another star. They're really cool boss, and they're very destructive. Yeah, they're just a really powerful and awesome mob.
Yeah. Yo, I got the Tamed Wolf. I wasn't expecting this as one of the mobs. And there's the
That
Feral
makes
one.
sense.
I'd say it's still C tier, even
Yeah,
if
C
it's
tier.
tamed.
Yeah, I know. Same thing with cats. They're useful mobs. They're pretty nice. You want to keep them alive. You'll go through an entire stack of steak for them. They're
Hmm.
dogs. A
Yeah.
man's best friend. Nothing else to say about them. They're awesome.
But they're not Wither Skeletons. They're not
They get
Wardens.
destroyed so easy.
Yeah, they're not cave spiders, they're not blazes, they're not
They're best
axolotls.
when they're by your side, which is what they're best for and stuff like that. But like the in and of themselves, they're not that strong. If you could tame like what's it called? I don't know, a fucking brute, you'd be a god.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Zombie pigman
Hoglin.
Hoglin.
Yeah. I think the
I think.
Hoglin,
Mhm.
it's the same as the normal one, because we already have the normal Hoglin.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only difference is that the textures are different. I don't think there's any remote difference for them at all. If
Yeah.
there is, you guys can free feel to tell us, but I know of none.
Hmm.
Maybe they dropped like rotten flesh or something like that instead, but yeah. And don't they only like come to exist if you put them in like the overworld anyways?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
interesting.
guess a rarish mob, but like that's really
You
all
know
they're all
what
about.
I'm curious about? What if you
Hmm.
put the zombie piglin back into the nether? Would it revert, or would it stay a zombie piglin?
I think it would stay. I think maybe it would die. I don't remember. I
Oh,
know
okay.
what's it called. I feel like something dies.
Alright. Also, fun fact, wolves can't go in the nether.
Can they not?
Yeah, I don't think they can go through port. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Yes, they can. I remember a long time ago they used to not be able to.
It would make sense for them not to, but I don't really see the point. You
But
could just make them sit.
the thing is, Technoblade's stream pretty much debunked that because it carries a whole army of wolves through the nether roof.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's debunked.
What? Yeah. But yeah,
Zombie
Hotman's same thing as
horse.
the regular one. I don't know much about the zombie horse like at all.
You want to know what I'll say?
Hmm.
Zombie horse is even more useless than the skeleton horse because it's not even part of the skeleton horsemen. So I think that
Even they
zombie,
actually spawn into rare mob, and I don't think it really does anything. I'd guess
yeah,
even like drop like run and place, which is even more useless than like
and I
bones.
think you can't even spawn it. It's only with commands.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I'd say that for the first time in a while, it might be F tier, just because of how useless it is.
Useless and something like that. Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
it's just the fact that the bat is an E tier and not F.
I mean, it's just the thing.
The bat
Skeleton.
literally drops nothing.
Yeah, the bat drops nothing, but at least you could say it's at least a little bit cute. The zombie horse is just entirely irredeemable.
The zombie horse at least looks cool.
A little bit, but that's not enough to give it points.
Yeah, I can see F tier. I feel like it'd be a high F for me at least.
Yeah, a higher F than the other failures that are on here.
Alright, but yeah, zombie horse doesn't able to spawn naturally
You
and
know what's
mostly.
interesting?
Hmm.
We have a zombie pigman and a zombie whatever they were. Well, no, zombie
So we got a
pigman.
zombie pig and a zombie piglin.
Yeah. So should we rank them together, or should one be in a different tier than the other?
They technically they are supposed to be the same thing. They're basically the
Hey,
zombie
wait,
pigman got
before you do
replaced by
that,
the zombie piglin. Hmm?
you want to know what I'm going to say before we get into our arguments?
Mm.
Let's make this the last thing and just place the zombies in C tier right now.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I
Okay.
mean like the zombie villagers are like slightly useful, but not useful enough because you can turn them into villagers. But
You know what?
that's about
I
it.
will say that zombie villagers are probably more useful than normal zombies because
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But I
you
don't think
can
it's enough to
cure
be in
them.
B tier.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that you can cure them and get normal villagers with
Yee.
amazing trades, but I don't think that's enough.
Not enough for B tier, no, not for me.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
finally.
freaking Vertex is saying S tier for everything. Alright.
All right, the final mobs. Basically the same thing. One replaces the other. Fun fact: if a regular piglin goes into the overworld, he starts shaking uncontrollably and then turns into a zombie piglin. That's
Yeah,
what I
same thing
remember
with the
from it.
Hoglin.
Very interesting. They just aren't supposed to exist in a regular overworld, which is interesting. But yeah, zombie piglins. They're basically the new regular zombie pigmen.
Yeah. You want to know what
There's
I'd say?
I don't think they even like drop anything new and stuff like that. They're just the same thing, just in different things. I guess the zombie pigmen are like, no, they're not even slurry. And I
You
think
want
they
to know
all
what
still
I'd say
attack when you
about it?
hit one, right?
Yeah. I would say, you know what, because they're able to organize like that and still have that unique touch to them, I'd say maybe a low B tier because we have a Piglin brood on B tier.
You know, that's true. Honestly, I think a low B would make sense for them because like I said, I think it's better than like zombies and skeletons and stuff like that. They can
Yeah,
all mass communicate and they all can go and work together at once
it's a
and
hive
stuff
mind.
like that. Yeah, a high, a low B. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're better than C a lot of the C's. So yeah. I think
So
that's perfect.
that's every mob reviewed.
Yep, and all of them are in perfect places and can't be argued. No idea what you're talking about. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. You wanna do a summary before we go?
A
Like
summary of like
on
all of the mobs? Probably not, because there's a fuck ton of them.
yeah, why not? I was just gonna say that like C tier is definitely the widest tier by far, I think, just because it
Which makes
has
sense.
such a range of quality in it.
hmm There's a lot of things into it. A lot of them are interesting. A lot of them are not.
Yeah, you
It's
got
pretty interesting. I think the one thing I argue is that Enderman C tier.
yeah, Enderman C tier just because they're pretty useless. You can hide from them easily, and like all they really have is Ender Pearls, and it's kind of neutered with the new update, with piglins being able to trade them and everything.
I guess, but they still do drop ender pearls, and they are like still just much more stronger than like the majority of mobs. They're like kind of like
Yeah, no.
they're strong enough. They if you actually
But
look
it's
at them, you
easy
will
to
just die.
circumvent it. Like, you could just hide
I
under a
guess
freaking thing.
that's true. That's the only like very bad thing, but you can do the
Yeah.
same for a lot of these mobs, can't you?
Yeah. I'm just saying that, like, the Enderman is basically a freaking bitch baby. That's the majority of what it is. Like, it just.
At least a high C to me, definitely a
Yeah,
high
I'd
C.
say a higher C, yeah, but I don't
Fair
think
enough.
it's good enough to be a B.
Fair enough. But
Endermans
yeah,
aren't as good as piglins.
yeah, no, they definitely are not. The piglins are OP for absolutely no reason, but they do are costly on gold.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know
that
what's gold, yeah.
this is a pretty good list that we got here. Although I
Yeah,
do
for the
have
most
a
part.
couple of I do have a couple of regrets, like
Nemo.
the fact that Parrot is so I don't regret Nemo, I regret the Parrot, but I
Really?
guess yeah,
The parrot's so entirely useless
I
though.
know it's so useless. It just feels like it should be better, but I know it's useless, so I'm not gonna change it.
It's really just not, yeah. They dance and it's cute, but like fucking hell, they do nothing else.
And they
They
can
really are
easily
just
be
the
killed.
epitome of like a house pet. They don't fucking do jack shit. They're just cute to have around.
Yeah, they're just completely and
Uh,
totally incompetent with their AI too.
Sadly.
Yeah.
At least they mimic sounds.
Mm. If you want, you can show up for the Treasure War stream later and record with me.
Uh, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I I did not sleep well entirely last night, but I enjoy doing this with you at the very least.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
pretty neat.
Maybe you could show up for future tier lists.
Uh, we'll see. But for now, I think I'm done for the most part. I wish you luck on the hype stream, but
Right.
honestly, I fucking suck at that shit anyways. I have no idea how to do better ways PvP like at fucking all, dude.
Yeah,
At least
it's
in
fine.
Java, I can like participate in the fucking game, but goddamn.
Well,
Why
you
is
know what?
Bedrock GUI so ugly and so problematic too?
I don't know. But you want to know what I was thinking?
Hmm.
I'm thinking about branching into Java at some point and like doing hardcore streams and Bed Wars streams down the line. Or maybe make those into videos instead. Maybe that could be something to do.
I try doing. I want to go with both, as in like you do a Bed Wars stream. I think with. Let me look it up. Like Minecraft Bed Wars,
Hmm.
because I have a what's it called thing. Ooh. So the biggest issue with Minecraft Bed Wars is that there's so many like YouTubers, the big YouTubers too, that are doing about it that you might just get shadowed over all of them, and the
Hmm.
mass amount of it. But there is still a lot of people who are really into it, and that's like the only like good quality about that. But majority of the time, it's not really that
I think
great. And
hardcore might be better, like as a series.
Minecraft Hardcore, that I mean, it's the same content. So many people are doing like hardcore, like they're doing hardcore challenges and stuff like that. And once again, I think you'd just be shadowed over. I think your
I
fans would
guess so.
love it, but it like, and if you want to like grow and stuff like that, it's gonna be really hard because I survived 100 days in ultra hardcore Minecraft. Here's
Hmm.
what happened, you know,
Yeah.
and those people
But
get like
also
tons and
in
tons of views.
Bedrock, you gotta remember the fact that Bedrock is almost completely fucking boring. Like, you know?
I guess. Yeah, it's really just hard to go around things because there's so many people like trying to do the same exact thing.
Yep.
And they have tons of views.
I'm
So
gonna
if you want to, like,
download
if you
this.
like doing it, then try. But I don't. It's gonna be hard for you to do anything with it all.
Hmm.
But yeah. I always just look into things before I make videos about them for the potential of having people look into it. Is that site still a thing?
Yeah, you're
Wait,
right.
that
I
site is
just,
still a thing.
I just think that maybe like doing some stuff in Java would be good. I don't know.
I guess, yeah, I guess.
Because like the thing about it is that there's more creators, you are right, but there's also more stuff to do and a bigger fan base.
Hmm.
Like,
I'll say this much: there is going to be eventually, if you make videos about them, people are still going to find you, just not as many because there's so many people who refer like a bunch of other YouTubers and already find their like YouTuber that they watch all the time.
mhm.
But there's always someone out there who just wants more and more and more and more, and eventually they're gonna come across you.
You
At
know
least
what I
that's the good
think?
part about having like doing something that so many people make videos about.
You want to know what I think?
Go ahead.
I think maybe the best path for my channel is potentially having it be hybrid in terms of like doing some stuff on Bedrock and on Java.
Yeah, no, definitely do both. Like cater to both audiences. I don't think anyone would care if you switch between the two, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe like some of them because they prefer one content over the other, but yeah, no, I think if you did hybrid, did both,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty good. Especially since I'm like 90% sure people prefer Java a lot, and I think if you only do Bedrock, it may be a bit harmful in terms of growing your
Yeah.
channel. Just
Mhm.
do just kind of like don't stretch
I should
yourself
do
too
both.
much. Do Minecraft primarily. If you just do the one game in of itself, you should be fine anyways, you know?
Mhm. I
If
think
you
that
just
I
do
could
Minecraft
appeal.
in general.
I could appeal to both sides of the equation because obviously I have a die-hard Bedrock fan, so I'd want to appease them, but at the same time I also want to reach out to Java people. So I think doing both would be a good thing.
Mhm. Not only that, but if you get enough subscribers and you do hightail videos, you could get YouTube rank, but that's gonna be down the line.
Yeah, obviously I'm just people say that they think I'm going to get 1K by December. I don't know how realistic that is. Probably not.
10K by December. How far is
No, not
December?
10K, 1K.
Oh, 1K at December?
Yeah.
I think that's no, I think that's reasonable. You're already at two. You're about to pass me already, and that's like 1/4 of the way there. And it's only like
Mhm.
June, and it's progressive growing. I feel like that's realistic. I feel like if you keep uploading and everything like that, you can.
Yeah. I think it's just the main
I
thing
need to
about
edit
it.
up. I need to edit videos too.
Yeah. I think it's just the main thing is like looking more professional. But yeah, if you need to go, you can, and I can end stream.
Mhm. Yeah, there's this stuff I want to do and stuff like that, but I enjoyed doing this with you. I'm sorry I wasn't here immediately. I literally didn't mean.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't think
fine.
you meant now.
That wasn't your fault. That was mine. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah. Just next time, tell me if it's like a now thing or a later thing,
Okay.
because I wouldn't have like left for so long otherwise.
All right. You want to get John, by the way, before you go,
Mhm.
do you want me to give you a recording buddy rank in Xrovia so you could like join that VC if you want?
Yeah, give me like 1 second.
I don't think you're in the server,
I
unfortunately.
don't think so.
I'm gonna
That's
have
what
to
I
invite
thought
you.
is weird too. Yeah, invite me. I didn't
Okay.
realize. Did I leave or something like that? Maybe
I
I
don't
left
know.
because I thought we were all going to Goody server or something like that. But if we're
Yeah.
still using Xperia, yeah, sure, I'll come back. Oh wait,
Mhm.
I'm in activity jail. Boop.
And by the way, Fraudy, we pretty much cut all ties with them. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, the whole what's it called? I remember
Yeah, I'm gonna
what's it
end
called?
stream
Yeah,
before continuing this topic, though.
where is here? I found it.